Welcome
There's
to
my
this
big laugh.
podcast, Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by. We have a special guest with us this week.
Look.
We have Felicia Day joining us here in the studio.
She's right there.
That was a regal. Look, like a queen-like wave.
Well, I actually am from
Trigger word, by the way.
Austin, and I was in a parade when I was in college here in Austin. I played Beauty and Beauty and the Beast, and the guy who played Beast put his hand way too much on my thigh the whole time. But anyway, so it was a parade. It was
wait. You were in a parade. You put his hand on your thigh during the parade?
Here's his paw.
We were in like a carriage. I was playing Belle, and he was playing the Beast, and I had my hair huge. I have so many pictures of this and they taught me how to wave.
Yeah.
When you're in a pageant, it's wrist, wrist, arm, arm, wrist, wrist, arm, arm. And that's what you do. That's how the queen, wrist, wrist, arm, arm.
I got it.
Looks like something that comes forward out of a clock and then starts going.
I have never seen Queen Elizabeth wave like this.
You never seen her do this?
Do you have a lot of footage of her?
No,
That's how she waves all the time, right?
I'm a fan.
Yeah, she's always like.
Yeah, that's her default wave.
She does like this?
Yeah.
That's
Wrist,
that's-
wrist, arm, arm.
That's royal wave number one.
It's the pageantry of royalty. So does the guy then, you're in a public parade and he puts his hand on your leg?
I was in the ball gown, as Belle is wont, and he was in a beast mask, and I was like, hey, I never actually saw what he looked like. I don't know who he was, how old he was.
Really?
You didn't
Nothing.
meet him before.
Yeah, never. He just showed up in a mask. He might have been the Beast.
It might not have been a mask.
So this is UT, like...
UT Austin.
Yeah.
Like
it might have been
99.
Joel. For all we know. Because Joel was in theater back then. He was in UT theater. That's the thing about Felicia that I don't think many people that work here know is that she went to UT. She was actually a math major, if I recall
did
correctly.
math. I studied music.
College of Natural Sciences.
Yeah, I did a lot
Represent?
of like little shorts for the RTF program. I tried to talk my way into the theater program. They wouldn't let me. They were like, you got to be a major. So I took dance there. Yeah, and they're always trying to get me to go to the alumni dinner for the theater department. I'm like, guys, you turned me away.
Yeah.
Matt has that too, our CEO. It's like I was a computer science student. And he was which oddly enough, computer science was in the College of Natural Science as well, because it was an offshoot of the math department.
Yeah, silicone, right? It's
Yeah, I
natural.
guess so. It's one of the elements, right?
Yeah.
So did you say silicone, by the way?
Yeah, good enough. Silicone. It's all the same.
Your nerd credibility just like plummeted. But Matt was a guy tried to get in the film school forever and then just ended up staying in RTF instead of going direct film school. And then now it's like he's on the board for the communication school, and the film department's always like, hey, come work with us. Like,
Yeah, they're like, I'm sorry, you didn't let me in. I will not donate my $20 a year or whatever to keep my email.
and UT's like 50,000 students. I think the best thing you learn at UT, or that I learned at UT, is that there's no one there to help you. Basically, you're on your own, and you learn how to work in a huge system. And now they like write me all the time, like for money and everything. I'm like, I gave you guys enough money.
I know. And also I tried to get into certain classes, and you'd have to go and court the professors. Like for 2 weeks, I wanted in this folklore class because I love folklore and fantasy and fairy tales. And 2 weeks I kept going to this guy's office hours trying to convince him to let me in his track. And then eventually he was like, I'm not going to let you in, but I really enjoy talking to you. I'm like, and out.
It's like you show up with flowers, like, please.
Yeah, and like eclairs and all this stuff. And finally, I was like, I was never going to let you in.
Oh, my God.
Here's how Felicia left the office hours for last time. She was like, bye.
Wrist, arm, arm.
Wrist, arm, middle finger. That's the way you go out the door.
So, wait, I'm going to go back to something you said. So you can pay, like, the Alumni Association to keep your email address?
Yeah, you have to stay to keep that utexas.edu. And I never did it. And when I was researching my book, actually, I was like, hey, let's go in those emails because I'm sure there's something embarrassing. And it was gone because I never paid to maintain the
I'm
email.
glad. Yeah. I don't want mine back.
I feel like that's something you would want, like when you're graduating. It's like a nostalgia thing, like, oh, I've had this email address for 4 years. But then from the outside looking in, you're like, no, that's stupid. Everyone's going to think you're still like a college student.
Yeah, if
or
you're 30 using a college email address. It's like, why would you want a college email address? In case you want to join Facebook in 1994 or whatever, 2004?
Yeah.
When do they need college IDs to join Facebook?
5, I think.
Yeah.
Wouldn't people think
Wow.
you're a professor or something at that point? Or do they have different email
Oh, that's a
addresses?
good idea.
Probably.
Because that would get you some.
If
Maybe
you
you
were,
just still...
Then you get meetings with people like Felicia and you go, I really enjoy talking to you, but I'm not a professor.
if you were really smart, if you could pick your email address when you first start school, I would pick like Prof. Sorola.
Oh,
that way,
that's good.
like when I graduate,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, he's totally a professor. It's in his email address right there. It's like I've always thought it would be really funny to have a kid and have their first name be Doctor. Be like, this is my son, Dr. Sorola. It's like, his name's Doctor. You're not like misleading people. but it's like instant credibility.
So if you became a doctor, it'd be Doctor.
Doctor.
That's pretty good.
Which is a really good song. Doctor. Okay.
Yeah, you're the only music major here. Trust me.
No, I'm not picking that up.
Gus, can I ask you a cheeky little question?
Ask me a cheeky little
What
question.
is on your nose?
These are glasses.
No, what happened to your nose? Side of your nose.
No, he blew his opportunity.
I've got a Band-Aid there. I had a huge pimple that I
I
tried.
was really upset that you tried to set you up on something and you just didn't go for it.
That I
can
tried
tell you
to-
were genuinely hurt by that.
It hurt my feelings because I never
squash
do
it.
that.
I had a giant pimple on there. I guess it was like post-RTX stress. And
All your stress went to your nostril.
yeah, so on Tuesday I decided to try to pop it, and it just got like impacted.
No, don't
and
pop it.
on
Gross.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and then this morning in the shower, it literally exploded. It just like blew up and went everywhere. So rather than subject you to the hole on the side of my nose, I decided to put a little Band-Aid on it.
Why
So
don't
now
more
it's much
teenagers
better.
just do that?
What do you mean?
Like, just put a Band-Aid on it and said, I had a mole removed.
Oh.
Except it's a I mean, why don't we just do that?
I had a mole removed that I didn't have last week. So
It
is
showed
that,
up. It was an
is that
overnight
like
mole.
Did you have to cut that to size, or was that a special pimple Band-Aid?
It was that size. I don't know.
What
Like
would you
I had
use
like
that
the little
for?
variety pack of Band-Aids. I was like, where's the smallest one? That was it.
Have you ever seen those videos on YouTube where it's just pus extraction and cyst extraction? People are really into those.
Yeah.
Sometimes when somebody's really mean to me and I just click on their portrait and see like, what kind of individual would say this to another human? A lot of the times I've seen people who just like those kind of videos like all in a row.
So
And I'm like, it's
your
fine.
haters are like pus watchers.
A couple of them I've been jarred because see, the thumbnail is just something I didn't want to
Something
see.
that's like an ASMR thing, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a whole subreddit for it. I think it's like popping or something,
Oh,
and it's just
Christ.
videos and gifs of that.
I like stuff that isn't. It's actually still kind of gross, but the stuff that you would get satisfaction from if it was happening to you, like the big earwax lumps that get pulled out of people's ears. It's just like
You wanna see mine?
It's gross, but it's like, oh, that must feel amazing.
I can admit, I like the videos where like somebody removes like a giant splinter from their hand or
Oh,
something
I see.
like
I
that.
can't do like.
There was
stuff
just
in.
one. It was a sea turtle. Did you guys see this?
Oh, with the nostril.
Yeah, it had a.
They had a
full-
sea turtle in their nostril?
It's a very specific subreddit for that.
Just taking tiny animals out of nostrils. I would watch that any day of the week. Like,
Look, it's a kitten.
elephant. Yeah.
Could be a guessing
Oh.
game. What animals should we remove next?
It's like a Kinder egg, except a human skull.
With your nose. No, it's the people. These oceanologists. What are they? I don't even know.
I had to turn the video off because it was sad.
Marine biologist.
Marine biologists. Why not? I don't think they are. They seem like people who had like 2 years of undergrad and then all got in a boat together and went to Belize. It seems like that level.
That
of
sounds like
education.
spring break.
4 dudes and a Leatherman is
Yeah,
what it looked like.
got a Leatherman, and they had this giant sea turtle, and 2 of them are holding it down because they found it had like something plastic hanging a little bit of its nostril, and this guy gets a pair of pliers. It's like an 8-minute video trying to get this thing out, and eventually they pull a full drinking straw out of this sea turtle's nostril.
It's like,
And
how did it get in there? Like, how did it go straight down its nose?
Oh
no.
my God, that's
Yeah.
okay. First of all,
it's hard to watch.
It's blood as well.
First of all, you're not supposed to do that. If you're not an actual doctor, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
You know, because when your cat eats a rubber band and it starts to stick out of its butt. Can I talk about this?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
We talk about whatever. It's the internet.
So, you have a little bit of a rubber band out of your cat's butt and you're like, and then I've read online, you can't pull it or their intestines will come all the way out.
So it's like you can make cat hemorrhoids if you want.
No, they'll just literally like, I just eviscerated my cat. Kind of like a 14th century, king would do to a trader.
So
I don't
wait.
I don't think I've ever told this story in the podcast. And we can't edit this out because we're not live. So Felicia, we have a rule, Rooster Teeth, which is like, except for the live stuff, we pretty much say whatever we want to on camera, and then everyone has the right to like final cut to veto.
Okay.
But that just lets us record whatever we want to. Did I ever tell you about my cat in college? God damn it. Did I ever tell you about my cat in college that would eat condoms? Did I ever tell you about that?
no.
And why are
I've
they
never
out?
heard this story.
Why are they not in the packets?
Well, I mean, like if they end up somewhere.
Oh, they're used.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
they're
go.
used. I get it.
Who can blame him?
That ruins a really intimate moment. It's like 2 a.m. You hear this noise.
Well, I mean, my dog used to eat my underwear, like any used underwear. You're just like, what happened? That was very expensive. And for some reason, I don't know why it's tasty. Was it even? I don't know if I want this ever in there,
Yeah,
but
well, we don't worry. We can cut anything out. You just have to remember all the horrible stories you
Yeah,
told.
just remember. About 10 minutes
so my
in.
crotch dog, he passed away. He won't be embarrassed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And then he was in a parade with her and put his hand on her leg.
So wait, the cat going for the Johnnies, was it into it for the
I don't know.
the
I never
creamy
asked
center?
questions.
Is
I
it
never
like a
asked
mint?
questions.
How frequently did this happen?
Enough. I mean, it was like I had to modify my behavior.
Well,
And,
yeah,
like,
don't fling your used condoms across the
I mean,
room.
that should be 101
They would end up
anyway.
in different places, like you do the tissue maneuver and then put it in the wastebasket.
After you're done, don't they just shoot off like a rocket?
In college, I
It's
didn't,
like pew.
in college, I didn't live in a place where the bathroom was like part of my suite. I had to like leave and go down the hallway or whatever to use the bathroom. So sometimes you take the waste paper basket for short term for convenience, and then that became remarkably inconvenient when the cat would have like half of a condom hanging out of its butt like 2 days later. Anyway, we'll get off that topic. Sorry about that.
No, it's fascinating.
What was the cat's preferred brand? Like, could you put like a selection out?
It
And the
went,
cat's like,
with whatever it had.
If the cat
it
farted,
wasn't choosy.
If the cat farted, would it inflate slightly?
Yeah, so you're not supposed to pull anything out of a
Well,
pet's butt.
if it was a rubber band, surely you can just give it a snip and then be like,
I mean, I think you just stare at it in fascination because at first you think it's like a tapeworm or something.
yeah, but what if
Yeah.
it gets hooked on
freaking
something?
out.
What if the cat's hanging upside down from its anus?
That's not gonna happen.
I don't think it gets that long. I don't have like industrial-sized rubber bands that hold together crates or something. I mean,
I'm just amazed it was like the cats from Mission Impossible. It's like lowering itself to the floor.
butt bungee.
Could be like a superpower.
I'd like to think that turtle with a straw in its nostril, like it was trying to use the straw to its advantage. If it was a bendy straw, it was like bent up, so it didn't actually have to surface to get air.
Like
they
a
could just like get
snorkel?
right under the surface of the water and be like, "This is fucking awesome." They come and they take away his superpower.
What I was imagining the whole time I was watching that video was there's some kind of actually trained veterinarian out there who's watching the video going, yeah, that's a stint that somebody put in the turtle's nostril to help it, and you guys are trying to pull it out. Because it certainly looked like, I don't know how that thing would get in there.
It must have been shoved in there by
Yeah.
someone.
Well, they have. If you've seen, I mean, this is depressing, but if you look, there are whole islands of plastic in the middle of our ocean that just the currents make, and it's just awful. That's why you're always supposed to snip. Boys and girls always snip your 6-pack thing so the birds
Yeah.
don't die.
Or
You're
the
a
seals,
murderer.
they get them around their necks. Or
Yeah.
Well,
whatever.
that's why you play twat, right? Everyone shoves their hand through the holes,
Go ahead.
What?
and then with a 6-pack, you get 6 people. It's called twat, right?
Is this true?
You
We
shove-
have
This is
a British
Dan Gretschy
thing.
Yeah,
on
you
camera
shove your hand up the
verifying.
thing. Everyone pulls away. Whoever gets all of it is a twat. Yeah,
And a twat is a vagina, right?
yeah. It's
Or
just an insult.
or is that a fanny?
No, yeah.
Also, Fanny is also a vagina.
Twat has moved on to just describing a person who's a jackass.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just
Okay.
like calling someone the C word, really.
What?
C word?
Yeah.
Did you just self-censor yourself?
Yeah, I don't say that on
Substance.
the internet.
You're a gentleman with a British accent.
It's true.
Definitely.
By the way,
British accent,
Gavin,
yes.
never heard of that game ever. My entire life.
It's a
Yeah,
British
it's
thing.
it's fun and it helps the environment.
we have.
So I want to complain.
I feel like I don't believe
About-
anything
about
you say.
six-
Yeah,
pack
good
for a
call.
second.
That's a really good call.
So there's the old method, which is like those plastic rings that you're supposed to cut up. So I guess in order to combat that, now we have those new types of 6-packs. I don't know if you've seen them, where it's like six hard plastic shells that go on top of the can.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It like covers the top.
They're on
I
Peacemaker.
fucking hate those.
Why?
Because it's so hard to pull off a beer
You
from
just
those.
pull down.
You pull down? I've been trying to pull to the side.
Oh no.
You can also pull. I know you're being like a sarcastic prick.
No. I've been
Oh, you
trying to
have?
pull to the side. Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Pull down.
I'm dead serious. Pull down. That's easier. Like, because I'm always like pulling to the side, then like the whole thing shifts, and
Gus,
I'm afraid
how
that
long
I'm
have you been
shaking my
dealing with
beer
this
in the
problem
can.
where it never occurred to you to pull down like that?
Because
Think
I
of it
don't
like
know.
I mean,
grapes.
it is counterintuitive because normally you have things on a counter, so
Right.
you can't like move
just-
space and time to be able to like. I'm going through the fourth dimension to get my beer.
Nah, you just lean over the edge, put it back.
Oh,
So
I
that-
never would have thought of that.
So what I do now is whenever I first get that 6-pack, I pull all 6 off and put them in my fridge, and then just throw that thing away because I don't want to have to deal with
Dan
it.
is delivering.
There you
Oh.
go. So yeah, show me. Normally, what I do is I try to pull to the side like this, and you see it just turns.
But don't you end up pulling down at some point?
It sucks.
That was pretty easy.
That was
actually.
pretty easy.
Watch this. Here's Gavin testing his method.
Pretty good, but you pulled a lot harder too.
I was
I've
too
never
scared
done
of
this. Let me do
failing
it.
on
Let me do
live
it.
I don't want to be
camera.
left out.
See, it sucks.
We can edit anything.
That's the one you wanted.
It's not the one I wanted, but I got a beer.
Let me give this a try.
All right, do
What
it.
is this?
That's actually a gift we
guys
got
are
at RTX.
Oh, yeah?
Someone gave it for the podcast. I think they wrote their
All right,
name
so
up there
sub
on
from
top.
this side doesn't work. It doesn't
You have
work.
better wrist action, all of you men.
Right, you pulled straight down, right?
Yeah, he pulled straight down.
It's really just a lid. I mean, let's be honest, Gus. There's like 4 little tabs. that
I'm
hold
sure
in
there's a
place.
I don't
better
like
way
it.
of doing it. Maybe you need one of those like security tag removers, and it just comes off.
You need a friend. It's a way to bond. One person holds it, the other one pulls.
Yeah.
And then you're friends forever.
But then you have to
Speaking
share a
of-
beer.
That's true. Speaking
So,
of RTX
someone,
gifts,
someone gave this at RTX.
Yes.
So are you gonna drink this?
Yeah, I love that beer. It's
sealed.
one of my favorites.
Yeah. I don't know.
someone made me a teapot.
Really?
That's
their
beautiful.
dad was a potter, and then
Oh.
she gave me this.
I was gonna say that the glaze on that is
I
quite
think it's
advanced.
lovely. I'm gonna have a cup of tea later.
Nice. We had a few more beers and whatnot. I don't know. Where'd you get that one from, Dan? Oh, okay. Yeah, we had a few more beers that people gave us for the podcast.
All right, I'm gonna try this. Makes me nervous. I don't like.
It's warm. It
eating or
hasn't been in the
drinking stuff that
fridge.
people hand to me.
All right. That's a really
Really?
good beer. That's
Have you ever met before?
I think if you
Like, I always
stick-
think it's very nice. Like we're to go to Comic-Con, we're doing a signing, and someone brings me like a tray of baked goods. I'm like, thank you. I'm not going to eat this. And I try to communicate that so people won't waste their time.
I have a lot of professional baker fans for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I was in Boston signing 2 days ago, and this woman brought me the most professional whoopie pies I've ever seen in my life.
what in the what?
No, they were whoopie pies. It's like a cake Oreo. So they were chocolate
Yeah.
cakes, and then there was
Yeah.
cream in the middle, and she put little green
Yeah.
frogs, and it
Do
was
you have
good.
any of this on you right now, by any chance?
On me?
Yeah, it's in her pocket.
No,
In
I
the
ate all
bag
of them.
or-
There were a
okay.
dozen whoopie pies, and I gave them away
Mm-hmm.
just so I would only eat half of them. And then last night in Toronto, someone gave me cookies literally with my face on them. So I was eating myself
Really?
the whole night.
Like that kind of like printing they do, or
Yes.
they just did they draw you?
no,
the
there was
frosting?
printing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was
Where did that
crazy.
come from? You think that would have been a big announcement?
Ooh, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Whoopie
those
pie.
are good.
It looks like a swollen Oreo.
Yep.
Don't say the word swollen.
We
They can do red velvet ones too. You ever had one of those?
Oh,
They
red
can do
velvet.
red velvet anything pretty much. They could do like red velvet
it's
steak
just
at this point.
dye, right?
It's just red chocolate, right?
Red velvet kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I never heard of red velvet growing up, and then all of a sudden everything was red velvet all the time.
Yeah, I don't know where the lore came. I imagine there's some old woman who just accidentally slipped and bled into a chocolate cake, and then she's like, "Oh, it's red velvet." Sure.
But one time we had
That's gross.
we had someone make us a bunch of bread, like homemade bread.
What are you talking about?
This is back when we were at the Butte office. Someone like
We made someone make us bread?
No, we didn't make them. Someone
You
made
just
us
said
homemade
it.
bread. I said
Oh,
we
this-
had this time where someone made us homemade bread,
Okay.
and they shipped it to us because we were down in our old studio, and we got it. And they had even made like this elaborate box. It was really cool looking. They had like fabricated this cardboard box to look like a treasure chest, and they had drawn all over it. It was like, wow, it's like a little locking mechanism. We opened it up. It was filled with homemade bread. That was all moldy
Oh.
because they had sent
Oh,
it parcel
no.
post.
No,
so
that
it had
doesn't
taken
work.
like 10 days to get to us. And since it was homemade, it didn't have like preservatives or anything like that. And it was just like bags of mold. And I felt so bad because obviously this person had put so much work and
So you
and
ate it anyway,
effort.
right?
No, God, no.
That's why you're a superpower.
We
You
just
have
cut it
superpowers.
off and ate the good
Think
bread.
about how good your immune system would have got after that loaf.
I mean, in the
Training
Middle
up.
Ages, they would eat mold, right? I mean, you had to.
They also died when they were 30.
True.
But we still eat.
mold's not a big. You just cut the mold off. That's
We
you
still
just
eat
fine, you're
cheese.
fine. You
Some
steak.
mold in it,
yeah,
right?
Cheese is mold.
Cheese
you ever
is
eat
mold.
aged steak? That's moldy.
No.
You ever seen how they do aged steak? Don't look it up.
No,
It's
we should,
crazy.
we should.
Just tell me.
They just leave it out for like 30 days.
Like
Where?
they just leave a slab of meat out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they put
it's-
it in a room with like lower humidity and a certain temperature, but the temperature's not like 30 degrees. The temperature's like 65.
If you ever go to,
And then they take the parts that are like nasty on the outside and they just cut that part
Wouldn't there
off.
be maggots and stuff?
Yeah.
Is that how you make like traveler's bread and the stuff in RPGs that just lasts in your pack for
Lambus bread.
Yeah, Lambus
Lambus bread is actually just Wonder Bread that's like so old that it's hardened.
if you're ever in Vegas at the New York casino, they have like a steakhouse, like right when you first walk in. I forget what it's called, but they age their steaks in a window so you can see this process. If you've ever wanted to see what it looks like, sometimes the steaks are fresh, like they just put them out, but sometimes it's like, oh, those have been there for like 30 days, and you can
So
see.
if you knew you were coming back to Vegas, could you be like, I want that in a month. Save it for me.
I don't know, probably
book out your
They
steak.
probably have other ones in the
Book your
that are being.
It's like
why
killing
I
a
can't,
lobster.
I can't. Yeah, I was about to say. I've never, and I will live my life never being like Earl. You die. Give me that lobster. Like never. I will never do it. I know it's a technicality because the lobster probably has a name and it's killed anyway. If they're not live, but I will never be like that tank. Give me that fish.
Because you don't want to be like
Right.
the Grim Reaper to that one fish.
Right? Are you
Touch and
okay
tail.
with that?
I've never done that. I don't think I will.
Okay, good.
I also don't want to do anything that like an alien civilization is going to find at some point in the future and say, oh, they're cool with this. Like the Japanese dish where they eat the fish while it's still alive.
Oh no,
I
that's
don't-
so
Yeah.
cruel.
I don't want anyone thinking we're okay with that and
Just-
like
just
using that against
just
us.
wait until the aliens show up and they all look like that fucking fish.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, this planet's going down.
Dude, speaking of aliens, did you read that thing this week that octopuses are aliens?
Yeah, what is that?
Wait, what?
Well, they're not aliens. They basically said that octopuses are not anything like anything else by a long way. Like their genes are so different. and they're not even like other mollusks.
They don't share anything.
Yeah,
They're
they're-
smart though, right? You could
Genetic
teach
information.
octopus some really cool things. It's like Finnish. Finnish and Hungarian, I
Yeah.
think, are the only two languages like that language.
Like an octopus.
I was about to say.
Like that's what
they
octopuses
speak
actually
Finnish.
speak. Yeah.
So,
I'm
but yeah,
so-
but like you can cut off an octopus tentacle, and it will still try and get food and feed a mouth that it no longer has.
The tentacle will.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that
Man.
creeps me out about octopuses is like, did you ever see the thing where it was on the deck of the boat and it found a hole? It was like a drainage hole, and the whole octopus fit through a hole about that
Yeah.
big, a big old octopus.
Because
like
the only
this.
hard thing is the beak.
The beak's the only hard thing. Everything else can just mush.
Can
through
you
the
imagine
hole.
fitting through any hole that your mouth is
Good
smaller than?
lord, yeah.
That'd be
You can
awesome.
go
As
into
long as my
someone's
jaw
mouth.
fits through, I'm good.
That's
right?
why Plastic Man needs to never happen as a movie.
Yeah, well, they tried to make it happen like last weekend again. They tried
What?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
I
Somebody-
really think that's what hold back Fantastic Four is Mr. Fantastic.
I've always listen. I can't. And when I play Lego, Marvel or anything, I'm like, get out of here. I never use that guy. He's
Yeah.
creep. He's a major creep.
I think it freaks people out. I really do. I think when they see the arms stretching and all that stuff, they can't handle it.
Somebody really wants to make that franchise happen. Like this is
So
like
hard.
this is like another attempt at it, and it just none of them have really taken off. Like I feel like the previous incarnation did okay, but even then it wasn't like anything like Avengers or any of the other comics. Even it
I
wasn't
don't
even
know
like an
why,
Ant-Man.
because those are the comics as a kid I loved the most.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah, because it was a family. It seemed cool. It was like the Herculoids and Scooby Doo. It's like,
Herculoids. Wow, nice. Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
Herculoids. Gloop, gloop.
Yeah, Felicia actually likes something that's really important from my upbringing as well. Found out you're a big Ultima fan. You were playing Ultima games.
Yes, that is literally the formative video game. Are you a big Ultima fan as well?
Huge. I have I just went through it. We had a thing where we helped Richard Garriott launch his Kickstarter on the podcast for
Shroud of the Avatar?
Yeah, Shroud.
Shroud of the Avatar. And I had a copy of Al-Kalabeth. I didn't play it. I was too young to play it. It was like one he made when he was a teenager. It was a Ziploc
That was
bag.
the first one, right?
Yeah, he would there was like 7 of them in the world, and I had a copy of it. And he brought in some stuff, and I was showing it to him. I said, "You made this game like 35 years ago." And he goes, "That game, that disc was made on that computer that he brought in." And so we took the disc over to the computer, and it booted up. It was like an Apple IIe computer.
Yeah.
So it's like we reunited the disc with the computer after like 35 years.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
no,
a love story.
I can't believe he brought that machine on. He even brought in like the graph
there
paper.
it is. Oh,
That's
so
Ultima
pretty.
3?
Yeah,
or
that's
2.
That's a really early one.
What
Finished
did you play?
grocery.
What was the first one you played?
My first one was 5, and then I went back and played 4, and I got obsessed with that. And then 6 was amazing. 'cause
4
you-
was my first one. I
4
kind of played
was
3 a little bit, and then I played 4. But 4 was like the first game I'd ever heard of where they built a moral system into the game.
Well, that's what I put in my book. I have a whole chapter
Oh, really?
on. Oh no, yeah, I'll get you a copy. I'll hook you up, man. Yeah, there's a whole chapter because I was homeschooled, so I didn't have any friends ever in real life, and my brother and I loved video games. We had like an Amiga, which is
Yeah.
like,
I had
that's-
friends who had Amiga.
Amiga
Yeah.
was not the cool machine. There was the Commodore, there was the PC, there was the Apple.
Had Out of This World. That's
and-
about it. That I can remember. That was the one exclusive that Amiga had. Anyway, sorry.
Then you were just like, oh yeah, that's the platform to be on. No, so and then when we got Prodigy, which was like this pre-internet thing, immediately I go into the Ultima forum and I joined this group called the Ultima Dragons, and there's a whole story in my
Oh,
book
really?
about how I met them in real life, and one of them was my first kiss and all this stuff, and like it's so formative. I would write like fan fiction about Ultima on the boards. in
Yeah.
That's
Prodigy.
awesome.
Yeah, I would always enter a tavern and kick somebody in the face and just kiss people.
This is
I don't know.
Usenet, by the way. She's talking about.
No, Prodigy.
No, Prodigy.
The Dragons forums. Well, the one I remember was on Usenet.
It was on Prodigy before on Usenet. It
And this
moved
was a
to
splinter
Usenet.
group that moved. Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Were you in it?
Hardcore. I read Dragon stuff on Usenet, but I wasn't really part of it. I wouldn't say.
You didn't name yourself because I was Codex Dragon.
Why am I?
What were you?
Were you Codex Dragon?
Codex Dragon.
So that's what really. So
That's
then
where
you got the
Codex
name
came
Codex
from.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So it's funny you bring up Prodigy. You know, we just had our event downtown Austin last weekend, and someone emailed me after the event, like talking about what a great time they had. They used a Prodigy email address, like last week,
What?
and I saw it. I was like, how the fuck does that still work?
That's a new hipsterism.
Right. It's like
Take an obscure like Alta Vista.
CompuServe.
I knew someone who
CompuServe.
was really proud of his Rocket Mail address, which is what Yahoo Mail bought when they launched Yahoo Mail. And it's like
Rocket
only if
Mail.
you had Rocket Mail before Yahoo bought it could you still have the Rocket Mail address. He's like, yeah, I've got a Rocket Mail address.
Genie was another one. Remember that? I had an account on Genie
Yeah.
too. That was like the
Was he like? Just go visit my website at GeoCities.
GeoCities.
Tripod. What were some of those other ones?
We should do that.
Yeah.
Can we buy those domains? Can we like just have like tripod.com?
I'm trying to go to
Rooster Teeth?
GeoCities right now. Let's see what it is. Yeah, it's just Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo bought it.
Yahoo
It used to
bought
be
'em.
so bad. It was like the bric-a-brac, like scrapbooking of people's websites.
Yeah, with the rainbow bar and the animated GIFs and all that
Oh,
stuff.
so bad.
And then MySpace came along and took over all of that.
Should we,
God.
Felicia, what animated GIF or GIF? What camp are you in?
I say GIF just because I like the.
Interesting.
And I say I
Thanks for
kind of
joining
waffle.
us.
Whenever it comes out of my mouth, I grow self-conscious and then quickly say the other one just so someone thinks I'm right either way.
So you just say
it's
both
very
all the time?
passionate debate online.
I don't have. It's like who and whom or effect.
Yeah, my
I get insecure whenever it comes out of my mouth.
what did was it effect or effect? There was another one. Damn it, I can't remember what it was. There was something. I guess I got the effect and effect rule messed up, where one's a verb and one is a noun, and you use one for the other. There was another word that I associated with that, but it just wasn't true. I'll sit here for a minute and think about it.
But it makes you insecure when you say it that you might be, or maybe that's just me.
Oh, sure. It's also when you go to spell, and there's always the one word that you just can't spell.
I always
Yep.
get confused with sang and sung. Like I never know when to use those.
Sang and sung.
Yeah, like he sung
Sang a
that
song
or
or
he
he
sang
sung
that.
a song.
Sang a song of sixpence. I sung. Now you're ruining my
We need a
life.
musical version of the podcast just for Felicia.
People get mad at us for getting science wrong all the time. Let's get grammar wrong now. Let's add those
that'll
people
be
in.
great for us. That'll
I
be
feel
really
like
great
that's
for us.
easier to get wrong. There's less leeway.
Yeah, but there's less
in
people to
grammar.
know when you're wrong.
I always am like, all I know that I could do as like a rules maven is the gerund, like bringing. You're always supposed to use that. I can't think of an example now, but the misuse of gerunds is very
Wait, what's-
blatant.
So what is the wrong one of bringing?
I can't.
Would it
think
be
of it.
brought?
Huh?
Broughton.
Broughton. Have broughton.
I go for
Have
some
broughton.
bratwurst.
Yeah. His bringing. That's it. It's possessive. You always have to use the fact of his bringing rather than him bringing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You have to use possessive when you're using a gerund, and that's literally the only grammar thing. Like, look at me.
Where my gerund's at.
Yeah.
Your gerund showing, dude. Yeah, let me read this. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by. So I get so paranoid. I'm sitting here reading, right, and I'm looking at the iPad as I'm doing the read, and out of the top of my eye, I can see Burnie grabbing something, and I kind of started wanting to winch
Oh,
because I
sorry.
thought you were going to throw something at me.
No, I was just showing off my ability to take the beers off the ring.
And then
here.
the company's like,
That's all
why
it
were
was.
you cringing when you were reading our ad? Like,
It's like, I didn't want to get hit in the face. I'm trying
That's
to
a hell of a
protect my eyes.
promotion, though. The first $50,000 of payments are fee-free.
Fee free.
What would it take for somebody new starting out to like generate $50,000 of payments? I mean, theoretically, you get that service and you wouldn't pay any fees. Mm-hmm. Is there a limit on the amount of time before you hit the 50K?
I don't know. That's
There you go.
that's not right in front of me, so I can't tell you. I
it's
assume
not-
there is. I cannot tell you what the time
Be sure to
is.
read all the rules
I
before
felt
participating.
so smart yesterday.
Oh,
because
good for
I
you.
figured out, well, I think I figured out something that just kind of confused me for a while. Why are you laughing?
Like a light switch? What was it? What was it that confused you?
You know how when you get on a plane and the
I
jetway
do.
attaches to the plane?
Wait, let me role play.
Okay.
All right, I'm on a plane.
You're not
ahead.
on the plane yet. You're walking onto the plane.
I'm walking on the plane.
Jetway.
Here we go. Got it.
Right.
Thanks. I'm walking on the plane.
There's always a person who has a limp that will not get out of the center of the aisle. of
There's
the
just people who
gangway.
don't
That's very
understand
true.
how. Like it's
Space.
cons are the worst because it's like you're walking behind somebody and these people just literally stop to look at something in the middle of a walkway, and it's like, or people who like gather in a doorway to have a conversation. It's
Or they just tie their shoe right in front of you and you go straight over.
My favorite is the people who get to the top of the escalator and then stop. It's like, we're moving here. We cannot stop. Anyway, so you're on a jetway.
Yeah. So they attach the jetway to the plane and there's this weird wheel that kind of like sits against the plane.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, I wonder what that is. Never think about it again. And then until you're next on a plane, it's like, oh, it's that wheel again.
There's a name for it. It's the uvula of the.
The little grape. So the wheel, I figured it out. When the jetway gets heavy, the wheel like rolls down the plane, and then it knows how much to adjust back up. And I think that's what the wheel's for.
Oh, so that's what you think it's for?
Yeah, but I was just like, that's probably totally what that's for. Like when the wheel rolls down, it lifts the jetway back up.
Like it knows,
To,
like a
to
system
compensate for
knows
all the people on the jetway.
a system knows the circumference of the wheel.
Yeah.
So if it
the
moves,
jetway doesn't
an
drop
inch, yeah,
down below the step.
So here's what
And
I'm
I was-
hearing from this. Next time I get on a plane, I can reach up, grab that wheel, spin it, and it would launch you straight up in the air.
It might
That's what
do,
like
yeah.
catapult?
It might do.
You can
I don't
get
think
to-
that's what that's
You
for.
can
You
get
don't
to
think it was
destination
just-
even easier.
What's the wheel for then?
I think
have
it's
you,
for-
have you seen this wheel that I'm talking
I have
about?
never seen the wheel. I always stand on the gangplank, wait, and picture a disaster where it feels very unstable just as you're getting onto the plane and it collapses right as I get there.
I thought I was the only one.
It's a big drop.
I think about it every time.
Every single time.
Every time,
I've
like,
flown five times in the last week, and every time I have an anxiety attack. Actually, you know what I think? I would love an amusement park where they don't have like Superman rides. They have everyday situations that have disaster scenarios that happen.
That's a
I love it.
brilliant idea.
I love
like,
it.
You all pack into like a 737, and that's all it is, and it's closed, and it just like and everybody screams. Oh my god!
Or it's like you get into an elevator and the doors close on your shoulders. You're like, ow.
Yes, and then you're actually physically injured. Oh, we could go through anxious thoughts all day, and I believe we would meet each other.
I would
the
love
thing
Gavin's ride. Gavin's rides would be like you get in the elevator, and then just someone you don't know wants to talk to you. That would be Gavin's.
That
ride.
would be a disaster. And you would have headphones and you'd put them on and they would still talk to you.
And then the elevator gets stuck and you're there for half an hour.
Yeah, Gus's yours would be the same thing. The small talk and hugs ride.
Yeah.
You have to like just be in a room full of people you don't know who want to hug you.
I had to hug someone yesterday.
How did it go?
It was awkward. And
Well,
bad.
Are you a germaphobe?
No, I'm just like a weirdo about like touching.
You hug fans though, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit on you.
No,
at
don't
this point.
please.
Now, see,
I'm also a germaphobe. I don't want to back off from that. I'm a germaphobe, but that has nothing to do with the hugging.
So what happened when your pimple erupted this morning? Did you feel like this is when the plague starts? This is my boobos that's exploding and
I wasn't as worried about it because I was in the shower with soap, so I was able to clean it right away.
It's a
Okay.
full image you're painting for.
Did
us.
it
I
like go on the
appreciate that.
wall or anything?
It did not go that far, no, but it did spray out a little bit.
So I have to fill Felicia in on something here. So Gus has a weird thing too, where he has the world's worst superpower, where he is corrosive over a very long period of time. Like he'll get a Mac laptop that's metal, and his palms will eat through the metal here. Like he can show you his laptop.
Yeah,
that he
so
has.
like, especially if I'm playing like World of Warcraft or an MMO where like, I need to sit for a long time.
yeah. So your palms are exactly.
Over the course of a year, there'll just be like tiny pock marks all over
like
the
it's
palm
going
rest.
through the metal. So like when you pop a zit, is it like that scene in Alien when they
Goes through like
it's
7
like-
floors of the ship.
Yeah, does it like go down through the foundation of your
Yeah,
house?
it's going down to the Earth's core right now.
That's really interesting. So your pH balance is like crazy acidic.
It must be, yeah.
We think that if he was jailed, he could just hold the bars over time and eventually get out.
slowly.
Just
If
20
you,
years.
my wife hates this, but if you look at like our bed sheets, you can tell what side of the bed I sleep on.
Oh, Christ.
Because it's just like slowly, partially eaten away.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
You eat through the fabric, too?
It's awful. Yeah.
So if you were in a
terrible.
hammock for a long time, you'd eventually fall through.
I don't know, maybe.
I feel
It'd
like this
have to
could
be
be
a
a
really long time.
superpower. Like you would be
Yeah.
resistant to germs because you're so acidic, nothing can live inside you.
I can't wait for the sequel of Fantastic Five with Acid Skin Man.
Slightly.
Slightly
it's
acidic.
It's not enough to do anything. It's over
Yeah.
time.
Don't worry, guys. I'll get us out of this jail cell. I'll give you 3 years.
Yeah, your pH balance is like 6.8. It's just slightly acidic.
Also, like it would be fantastic 4.5. I don't know if I give you a full unit for that power.
A half might be generous even.
You're like the assistant.
Have you seen the Great Lakes Adventures? Those are the fun. Like Squirrel Girl is in there, and Big Bertha.
No, I haven't seen that.
That's a fun. Like I wish they'd make that because they have
Yeah.
really bad powers, but it's really funny. They have small spin-offs in the Marvel universe. Those are the ones that I'm thinking. I would go see Squirrel Girl.
Would you be Squirrel Girl?
I want to be Squirrel Girl. I told the head of Marvel TV at like a panel. I was like, make me Squirrel Girl.
I feel like
So I mean, I do have buck teeth in a way that it would be appropriate casting. Let's just be honest. I know my face.
What is? So I'm not a big comics fan. It's something that I missed when I was younger. What is Squirrel Girl's power?
She could call squirrels.
So she's like
She has power over
Aquaman, but
squirrels.
with just squirrels.
Yep. It's not a good power.
It's a pretty popular comic too. I haven't
They
read
just
it.
rebooted it.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't all
So,
collected.
like when would that? Like I guess if you're raiding a nut factory, that'd be really helpful.
That's the whole point. She's useless.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
a
a
lot-
good one.
But I feel like
A lot of powers are useless, but you can apply them creatively, and it's great.
So I guess like
mean, stretching. How
It's just the idea of there's all kinds. There's this gamut of superpowers. Some which are really awesome, and then
Yeah.
some which.
This would be the subgroup of not awesome. I mean, in the Marvel universe.
you
I don't
know
know.
the-
I don't know comics. I'm probably people are yelling at me right now. I don't care. I'm sorry,
It happens
but
all-
I do
it
know about
happens.
the Great Lakes Adventures.
One thing about the podcast is that people will talk to you in real time on social media about it. Like they're like Bernie, no, that happened in issue like 530. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, I'm just listening to the podcast. You're talking about Iron Man where he, defeated the Mandarin. And that was not issue 300, it was issue 530. I said, I talked about that a year and a half ago. But it's like they're talking to me like in real time
Yeah.
because they're listening to it
'Cause
in
you're
real
in their
time.
ears.
So, yeah, somebody all of a sudden next week will go like,
Yeah, you're inaccurate. You
it's
forgot.
every rodent. It's not just squirrels.
I couldn't get to sleep last night, so I was trying to find some videos that were kind of peaceful. I ended up watching
Ear
like a
extractions?
20-minute compilation of chiropractic adjustments.
That's to me, that's the one I love.
like people just popping backs and like
Yep.
snapping necks, and the noises and like the groans afterwards. It's just like
That'll put me to sleep in 2 seconds.
Are you kidding? Is that ASMR? I mean,
Yeah.
is that a subgroup of ASMR?
I think it is,
I would watch that.
but it's just like and they're like, oh, so good. Sounds like it feels so good.
Gavin, there's this really cool thing where Gavin and I watched this video of this guy in India. And apparently when you get a haircut in India, they also give you a head massage. And this guy got a head massage and he
It's
recorded
more
the
than
whole
that.
thing.
He's like doing spiritual stuff. He's like pulling energy down and like flinging shit.
Cosmic energy, pulling it out of the universe and do it. But like that video has 8 million views for that one video. The guy recorded that. And then now there's been 13 other installments of this web series, but it's all made by different people. They all go find this guy in India and they all record themselves getting their head massaged by this guy.
Cool,
and this web series has like 50 million views, but it's like 8 different people that have worked on it, or 13 now different
Is it
people.
on the same channel?
No, different channels.
You're making it sound like it's like they all know each other. It's really just
people
different
going and
people
getting
going to see this guy.
But they name it like part 12, part 13.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do. World's Greatest Head Massage, part 13.
Do you think people have ever argued about which part? It's like, no, I've got 13.
It's true. The simultaneous upload.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
That would be
that's mine.
Take yours down.
Yeah, they're like, or they end up in the waiting room with somebody else with a video camera. Like, I'm
I still
I'm
feel
calling
like
14.
the original is the best one though, because he really did start sort of pandering towards the camera towards the end. He's like giving
he's
it like
getting an
extra
ego?
sort of like yeah.
They're
the
up
first
to
one.
15 now.
Oh wow.
January 10th, 2015. There might be one later.
Is
And
it
we-
all guys, or the
Oh,
women
here it
get
is.
their hair too, or?
No.
It's guys and girls. This
There you
is
go.
a guy.
That's Baba. That's
Oh,
him.
here we go.
So he like, you might see him do some like,
I don't know which one this is.
he gives good
Patrick,
rubs.
which one is this?
What's he doing?
Oh, look, there you go.
16.
16. So this is part of a haircut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do like a full upper body
I would
massage.
hate this.
No, I don't like it at all.
I just want, like, I hate enough when they have to, like, adjust me or touch me. Like, I just want
when I
scissors
go
on
to
my
get
hair,
my
and
nails
that's
done,
it.
I'm like, I want them painted. I do not want anything else done. Do not massage me. Do not put like lotion.
But does it not feel good to you?
No,
Like when you
I
just
hate
get
it.
like a little bit of like, ooh, bit of pressure release.
No, when people touch my fingers, I want to poke them in the eye, kind of like a stooge. I want to go.
There's, like, a recent thing where, like, now it's like some barbers will have, like, a little shoulder massager.
Yeah,
and
like
then-
that. They think they strap to the back of their hand.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to communicate. Like, I'd be like, no, it's the hair. That's it.
Just tell them that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people always go too far with you.
People always
People
go too
trim
far.
your eyebrows at your haircuts.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like there's one.
Come on, you
there's
would-
one
look at that
place I
mess.
had to stop going to because, like, I'll have my eyes closed because they'll be like cutting my bangs,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next thing I know, I feel like a comb on my eyebrows, and I'll be like, "That's weird," and then it's like snip, snip, like, "Oh fuck, they're trimming my eyebrows."
But
They
that's
didn't
a
even-
good thing. You need to keep those trimmed.
they
You
didn't
don't want to
even-
be that guy with
they
like.
didn't ask.
That's true.
Yeah, but he also has a thing too where he's super awkward and won't correct anybody either. So
How
he'll
do you-
get-
I do the same thing. I'll
Yeah.
just let people do whatever, and I'll be like, I feel violated, but I'm letting
Yeah.
this happen.
You'll just be
so-
quietly fuming.
Yeah, don't cut
with
my
the
cuticles,
beast's hand
don't.
on your leg.
How do you stop someone after they've already made the first cut on your
There's
eyebrow?
nothing you can do.
It's like you're fucked at that point. You got to let them finish.
You just immediately when they touch your eyebrow go, no, don't do that.
Because I didn't know
Or
that
no,
was what was
thank you.
going on.
Yeah, but he also did a thing like Gus got in a situation one time where he rented a storage unit. And
Oh, yeah.
he sat there. They made him get on Yelp and make a Yelp account and then rate them up.
What?
Like, and he went along with the whole thing. And then he's so passive aggressive. He went home and was like, "No, 1 star."
So no, wait, was
Or you
it?
didn't even do that. You deleted it.
It was a Google review. They was like, "Do you have Google on your phone?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." Like, "Oh, here, look up our location. Here, give us 5 stars." And then I was like,
Say something personal about it. Say,
Yeah,
a comment too.
say something personal about me. My name's John. He like points at his name tag. I'm like, okay. So then I left. Then I immediately deleted it. But then I had to come back the next day, and they're like, "Oh, I was looking for your review last night. And I couldn't find it anymore. What happened?" I was like, "Motherfucker!"
So you have to do it again?
I had to do it again.
Ugh, awful.
Yeah. So
I always do that when I go. I have the same exact problem. And I've been trying to train myself to just say, okay, you don't want that, because when you go get a facial as a lady, they always try to upsell you, kind
Yeah.
of like you're buying a car. It's like, no, you want the dermabrasion, you want the oxygen, you want the special serum peel, and I'll go like, I'm naked under the sheet. I guess do whatever.
You already have my wallet.
You already have
It's in
my
the
wallet.
corner.
It's in the it's in the locker. I can't do anything. Go ahead, oxygenate my face, which makes no scientific sense that oxygen on my skin would make it any better. So don't ever get a facial. That's what I'm saying.
I will
So
not.
in those situations where you're quietly livid, do you tip still? Do you tip that? do you
Yes,
tip that
come on.
eyebrow cut?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I can't. I even if I'm like, because I'm the same way. Like I will never say anything, and I still can't tip nothing. Like I've never done that because I just feel weird.
You've become
Really?
so Americanized.
I thought in the UK you don't tip though.
You still tip at restaurants. You don't tip for like a coffee or something.
What about like a bellman?
Oh, I saw a thing where the other day, you travel out of the Austin airport sometimes, I assume.
Yes.
They have the Schlotzsky's there, which is an Austin chain that went out to the rest of the world. They have kiosks where you just order your sandwich there and you get exactly what you want. You just punch in. Nobody takes your order. You do it with a computer, which I love. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have to I can sometimes I'll be like, I don't want tomatoes, but I don't want to be a hassle either, so I just order the regular sandwich and pick off the tomatoes. Sometimes I'll do that. But with a kiosk, you can do whatever you want to. Last time I was at the airport, I was at the kiosk, there was a tip cup on top of it. It said tips. I'm like, what is this?
Wait, what?
Yeah, that is the only human evidence around was the fact there was a tip cup right there.
Wait,
you
what are you
think they-
tipping the kiosk?
I don't know what
Yeah,
you're
do they
doing.
split it evenly across all the kiosks?
I mean, it's like some dude who was flying out later that day. He's like, I'm just gonna put this tip jar up here, and then I'm gonna get some
Smart
cash
move.
out of this.
Well, I mean, there's someone making the sandwich. Maybe it's for them.
Yes, that's exactly right. But then put that where you pick up the sandwich. Doesn't that make more sense?
Exactly. That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Why would you tip a machine?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a person there
It's so
delivering the
bizarre.
sandwich.
Unless it's a sentient machine.
You put a battery in it or
When- when you get
USB
a-
stick. Here's a couple of gigs for you, buddy. Hope you make it through.
Like tipping in a bar was new to me. I would never do that in England. Ordering a pint.
You don't tip in a bar?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
What about a bartender? That's their whole point.
No, you don't do that.
Can I let you know?
That's why they're always hot. I mean,
Have you been to the UK?
I don't know. Anybody with an accent is automatically hotter to me.
What is that? What is that, Felicia? Explain that.
I don't know. It's my lady genetics.
It's a female thing for sure, right?
that's
I don't want to paint the whole gender with any
All
brush.
right, we're not. I mean, we're just talking.
I don't
here.
know,
I'm
dude.
not gonna-
Yeah.
Dudes are also into women with
You're
accents.
saying that a French woman who came up is like, "Hey, Burnie, would you like me to take me to dinner?"
That would, yeah, I would absolutely, but that wouldn't be
Right.
like an automatic trigger. It seems like it's an automatic trigger. We had a lot of people coming in from RTX. One of these guys that we know from New Zealand. He worked on our Lord of the Rings series that we did.
Nick.
And you would have liked that series actually. It was more of a reality one, but the guys walked from the set of The Shire where they filmed it to where they did Mordor. They carried a
Oh,
ring.
that's cool.
So they marched all the way across New Zealand. It took them like 6 days. They almost died. These guys were not in good shape. Anyway, Nick, their guide, came up and he's been coming up, and he's been living in the UK, and I asked him, does the Kiwi accent, does it like help you as much in the UK as it does in America? He goes, nope, it's just
No.
America. He goes, it's like a superpower in America.
Yeah, it's different combinations of stuff too. Like for example, the American accent I find very attractive in women, but when a dude is talking American, it's like, chill out.
Yeah, see, that's why I have a visceral reaction
I
to
don't-
it. Is because I didn't start traveling internationally until we started doing Red versus Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, when Red versus Blue was popular, was when we had a very unpopular president in office globally.
Oh, bad.
So everywhere I went as an American dude traveling internationally, it wasn't like, oh, you're American. It wasn't like World War II, where
You're
I was
like,
a soldier.
no, I'm Canadian.
Yeah, it's like all he wanted to do was talk to me about Bush and
Yeah.
the war and everything else. And it was like, and I get it, but it was like traveling as an American, I didn't have that accent superpower everywhere else.
I don't know why everyone hated him so much because he was so funny. He's the funniest
I don't
president
know.
we've ever had, and he was great at dodging shoes and all that stuff.
I forgot about that.
He was entertaining.
Yeah,
Well, then you're probably a Trump supporter.
I stopped in.
I kind of am in a weird way. I have to say I'm a little bit of a Trump supporter.
Why?
Because it's entertaining.
He's a
we
liar.
don't need that.
What?
He's filth.
I mean, let's
Allegedly.
just not to get overly political, I'm probably not going to vote Republican anyway. I mean, I'm not going to. So it doesn't really matter to me what the other candidate is. But if Trump is elected or nominated, I can't imagine that Trump would be elected. But if Trump got elected, that would be really
It's
bizarre.
like electing sexism and racism.
It just doesn't seem like a real thing to me.
Am
I weird?
It's like performance art at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Ed Norton or Shia LaBeouf when he's like in a bubble on Times Square or something.
Because think about how much promotion he's getting. How much can it possibly cost him? I mean,
Nothing.
he's actually raising money during the process.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of people run for president just to raise their speaking prices.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So messed up.
But
It
it's
is
like it's
pretty
a ton
messed
of free publicity on every major news network, and it doesn't cost him anything, and that's kind of what he lives off of, right?
It's interesting. Yeah,
He doesn't need
had
extra money,
I had not
right?
thought about the speaking angle, the speaking fees angle.
Yeah.
Where do you think Donald Trump is doing speaking engagements?
don't know.
Places we'd never.
The
go.
G7
Hooters?
summit.
Yeah.
Can we get him for? Can we get him for RTX next year?
Oh my God.
He's the only dude I've ever heard of. He built a hotel in Las Vegas that doesn't have a casino. Explain that to me. How do you build a hotel in Las Vegas? and
Trump
you don't
Tower
put a
doesn't have a casino.
No, that big gold tower has no casino in it.
It's like a big tower of pimps.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah, and you got to go somewhere else.
And it's far from casinos. Well, it's like on the north end of the strip. The closest one I think is the Wynn, and even that's like kind of walkable.
The win is far.
Yeah, and the Wynn is far.
It's very purple, very regal. It's not as far as Circus Circus.
No,
You go- you go-
Circus is like right in the middle.
No, Circus Circus is past the win.
Excalibur's my favorite.
Is it really?
It's just so bad.
I was at Excalibur. It was the only place that was still had reservations. I was at Y2K for New Year's. I went to Vegas because I figured if everything was going to shut down, I wanted to be in Las Vegas on the Strip. The only place I could get a room was Excalibur.
The first time I ever went to Vegas, Burnie took me.
I did, 'cause he hated
and
it.
we decided to walk. We started at the Wynn and we walked all the way down the Strip. Like we stopped
To the
at
Mandalay?
every casino.
Oh, that's really far.
And yeah, it was a long night. It took hours and hours. I mean, it took forever. It was like a day basically.
I had
and,
new shoes too, new dress shoes. Rookie mistake.
Yeah, we got.
I ate through the back of my heels.
By the
Yeah.
time we got down to where like Excalibur is, we were really drunk, and we decided that if we looked at the wizard on top of Excalibur, it was bad luck. You remember this?
I do remember that now you say it. I
And we had
completely
like
forgot about
these
it.
little like drink stirrers, and you had to look at him and say "zot" and like zap
you
him,
9
zap
years
his
old?
bad luck back at him. Otherwise, we were gonna have bad luck the rest of the trip.
Oh, thank God we can edit stuff out of this. I'm totally editing that out.
So every time I see him now, I still think "zot."
There was a crazy milestone that I hit on social media, something I'd never seen on social media before, and it was Phil DeFranco that posted it. Yeah, I always talk about like on social media how it's just people cherry picking, and it's basically like a long narrative people are writing about their own life, where they, the stuff they put up is like all the best things about their life, or the other way, some people only put up the worst things in their life, and their whole life is like they're writing this like tragic narrative. But Phil DeFranco is the first person I've ever seen on social media. He kind of disproved my theory. He wrote on Twitter that he lost money in Vegas. And I always said you can tell a lot about social media by the fact that nobody ever loses money in Vegas on social media. Everybody's a huge winner. Everybody always makes a ton of money. And if that were the case, Las Vegas would not have those big buildings.
Right.
But
Yeah.
everybody's a big winner on social media. They all leave Vegas up like $1,400 or something like that. And
Nope.
Phil DeFranco was like, I just lost a ton of money in Vegas this week. Oh, well. No big deal.
Was it you? Someone, I think it might have been you, Burnie. Someone in the past 2 years, I think, like recontextualized all of Vegas for me. Like, I love going there. It's beautiful, all these giant buildings. And whoever I was with, and again, I think it was you, said it's really crazy to look at all these buildings and think every person you see here is paying for this. Like, all of this is built on the loss of everyone else who's coming here. And I've never been able to look at Vegas the same way again since then.
I don't like Vegas particularly. I always lose exactly $40 on kitty glitter, which is a specific slot that I always look for, and it's a kitten.
Buying glitter for your cat.
No.
It's like the only place you can get it.
Yeah, it's in Vegas alone.
It's a slot machine called Kitty Glitter, and I put $40 in, always lose it immediately, and then I go see a Cirque du Soleil show and buy like a $50 steak, and that is my Vegas experience.
Yep.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Next
Kitty
time-
Glitter
Same
and
thing
me.
in Vegas
Stop by-
all the time.
Stop by New York, and see a rotting steak in a glass behind a glass
I'm
window.
never getting aged beef now. Ever.
Oh, there's kitty glitter. They're so fast
Yes,
on the uptake.
thank
with
you.
these.
God, they're really fast back there.
Is that Grumpy Cat? No, he's way too happy.
That's just one variation. Sometimes the kitten is bigger, but it is a consistent brand across. I was attracted to the Plants vs. Zombies, and I'm like, nope, go back to Kitty Glitter.
Yeah, there's a Ghostbusters slot machine that I liked. I normally don't like slot machines at all. I went to, we just had to go to Cannes for
Fancy.
for some big like international TV market. We went there, and then my girlfriend Ashley and I, we thought we're here. Let's just get in a car and spend a week and drive around. So we went into Italy, and then we went to Monte Carlo, which is like right there in southern France. It's
Croupier.
like, dude, that is like, per capita the highest dollar per person in the world. You know what I mean? It's just like ridiculous. So we went to the famous casino in Monte Carlo. And I was thinking, oh, this is where James Bond did Baccarat, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's going to be really cool and awesome. We got all dressed up and went. It was all machines like that. The whole thing. It was like this like centuries old building and then people playing kitty glitter. It was so disappointing.
That's
Just going
really
there.
disappointing. Did you see Croupier, the Daniel Craig? Yeah, that was the first one, his first movie.
No.
Never been hotter.
Really?
Yeah, just one of the best movies.
Really? He's never been hotter? He isn't aging well, you think?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of him as James Bond.
Really?
I came from
He's class.
He's okay. I mean,
More of a Sean Connery guy?
Who's
I'm
your favorite
more-
James Bond?
I'm sorry, Pierce Brosnan, but I was
Oh, yeah,
obsessed
good
with him
call.
as a kid.
It's a good
so
one.
Good call.
He's definitely. I wouldn't say that he's definitive Bond, but he's my definitive Bond. It's kind of like you have your Who. I have
Yeah.
Tennant is my definitive Who.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but so it's just a generational thing.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the only people in the world that Roger Moore is my favorite.
Really?
Bond. Yeah.
Is that because he was Bond when you
Yeah,
were
he
born?
was all the Bond stuff that I saw as
He's
a
your
kid.
affirmative Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's was my
Moonraker,
first Bond.
come on.
I'm a Lazenby fan.
George Lazenby?
Are you?
Lazenby?
You are
Wow.
not.
I'm kidding.
No.
I'm
The
totally
Australian model who was Bond once?
Kidding. Totally kidding.
Who's yours?
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan.
Timothy
probably.
Dalton?
Just because it was like, I got into, I think Goldeneye was the first Bond movie I saw.
Goldeneye's a really
Well, that
good
was good.
Bond
Well, the
movie.
Sean Connery ones they're pretty like campy, but they're pretty good.
He's camp, but I like that sense of camp. I kind of resent it when people are like, "Now this is serious." I get a little bit uppity,
Do you know that not Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery wore a hairpiece in every Bond movie. He was bald.
He was bald back
Yeah,
then?
he had like only hair around here.
Really?
So the top of his head is always a wig in every Bond movie.
Well, you just ruined it for.
I mean, if
Was he-
everybody on TV has fake hair on, like any girl who has nice curls, that's fake hair under there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're clip-ins and stuff. You can see them at the drugstore, but they're like expensive versions of those in every girl's head.
The professionally applied kind.
Yeah.
They weren't bought at CVS.
Here, I'm gonna read this other thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by. We were talking about slot machines, and it made me think about a conversation I had with someone recently. So, there's this thought in Vegas now when it comes to like casinos and gambling about how they're trying to figure out how to attract younger people, younger people who play video games or like looking for a more interactive element as opposed to just static tumblers turning.
That's a challenge for everybody now, isn't it? Trying to figure out what young people want, trying to get them off the internet, essentially.
And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if you had almost like 5v5 setups of slot machines where it's people playing against each other, almost like MOBA style, where you have like a combination MOBA slot machine game where you're like covering different territories and competing against 5 other people on other slot machines looking directly at you.
It's like pouring money into it. as you
Right.
play.
And then in the end, like the casino just wins
Or
even more money.
Just let people go competitively play there. Play a MOBA. I
Sure.
mean, why not do that? Why not? You're going to have a gaming. They have poker lounges now that poker's gotten so big. Why not have a gaming lounge?
You could bring your own computer
where you
lounge.
play against other people, and it's their machine, so it's a secure environment. It's fair and everything. There's no hacks or anything like that.
You guys need to open one.
Yeah, there's all these good ideas we're giving away on this podcast.
You think about
Come
like a
on.
sports book. Essentially, like the sports book is just giant cubicles with little TV screens.
Yeah.
There's already the space where you can just stick a gaming computer in there and start playing.
Sure. Yeah, you absolutely could. And if it gets big enough, they just start doing tournaments on TV. ESPN just did coverage of the International, and it was really interesting to watch those sports anchors talk about Dota 2. It was really interesting.
Was it well commentated? Were there?
Well, they had somebody. They actually had the sideline reporter from it, but it was like 2 normal ESPN anchors, and they were talking about it. They were comparing the purse at the International to being higher than the Masters, higher than Wimbledon, and higher than the Kentucky Derby. The overall purse for it. Mm-hmm. And it was 2 people talking back and forth, and they were doing that horrible thing when people don't know anything about the thing they're talking about, especially when it's technology, and they're just like, "Can you believe it? People watch other people play a video game."
Oh, God.
And there's
Wow.
a female reporter and a guy reporter, and the guy was this old white-haired dude. He's like. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like, he knew that he didn't know how big it was, but he was like very self-aware. You could watch him like, I don't want to be the clip like passed around the internet. It's like, no, they really like it. She goes, people watching other people play a video game. That's really strange. He goes, a lot of people do it. They fill stadiums. He goes, we're really showing our age here. Like, you can tell he started to sweat it.
He's
a
like,
little bit.
Shut up.
You're driving into the wall.
Yep.
We're going to be on the front page of Reddit tomorrow.
Yeah. But I always think that, too, it's like with video games and like esports and everything else, it's like we have now the International and those big things, and those are in stadiums. And then, of course, there's a lot of stuff over in Asia that's huge like that. But like most of the esports stuff are not those big events. Most of them are like hotel ballrooms. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're still at that level. And
Well,
it's
the
like they don't show a lot
bar
of
to
that.
entry is high. Like, when I've been to BlizzCon for 7-8 years now, and I'll stop and I'll watch some WoW because I know that. Like, I've played WoW so much that I'm like, oh yeah, if I'm following this. But as far as StarCraft goes, like I know the game and I've played a little bit, but I'm
Yeah.
not an expert enough to, the bar to entry to be an active spectator is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with Dota and stuff. I just started playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm because my brother's really into it. Now I'm like, oh, I get this game, but it took like a couple weeks before I was even semi-competent. Which I'm not even claiming I'm semi-competent now, but at least now I have the vocab, and it's hard to get in.
Yeah.
It would be fun to be able to sit there and watch. My brother went for a week to the International, but I really wouldn't know where to start to appreciate the level.
Even
of
as a
these gamers.
spectator, right?
Yeah, as
it's
a
like that with
spectator.
golf. I grew up when there was golf on TV every week, and I'm like, who's watching golf?
Exactly.
And I would go past it. I was like, it's unbelievable. I played golf twice, and immediately I found myself watching golf on TV.
You watch golf on TV?
No, I found myself doing it. I wouldn't say that I was.
I've
I'm a
never known,
horrible
how do
golfer.
they track the ball? Like,
Ah,
how are the
dude, it's
cameramen? So
amazing.
they zoom it in, the ball's like this big on the screen.
Yep.
It's got to be some kind of software, right? There's no way like
It's got to be like,
a human can do that. It's amazing.
yeah, this is like on the floor and then whoop, never
Yeah.
leaves the frame. I'm like, you're a genius.
They
How do
just
you?
don't publicize whatever sensor they have to do
Yeah,
that.
right. It's
probably
Is
just
someone
like-
just bring it and like so the camera goes to them.
They probably
from
just have a
the
chip,
gallery.
a chip in the ball or something.
You
Or
can't-
it's got to be some kind of detection of like the color of the ball. I don't know. I
You
can't.
you can't do it when you're out there. When somebody hits a drive, Like there'll be 4 people going, is that it? Is that it? Like you're like, it's harder. And can you imagine having one of those big ass TV cameras doing it? It's impossible.
You mentioned BlizzCon. Did you see, I think yesterday or the day before, they announced what the BlizzCon pet for this year is?
Was it the moose or somebody else? What was it?
Illidan Murky.
No, what?
Yeah. So it's like, all right, I'm getting a virtual ticket, or I'm going, or something.
Are you gonna go? You gotta go.
I went to the first one and haven't been to another one since then.
How big is it now?
It's pretty big.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I missed last year, I think, because I was working on Supernatural or something. But I was out there handing out bookmarks in 2007 of trying to get people to watch The Guild.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I wrote about. I as I was writing about it in my book, I was like having a flashback to trying to be like, hey, would you like to see this website? No, okay,
And then you guys had a huge panel like a couple of years later there, didn't you?
Oh yeah. They've been really great supporters. They were great supporters of the show when it was on, and just being able to go down and tour and just helping us setting up booths for us to like kind of sign and stuff like that.
Which con did you show the "Do You Want to Date My Avatar" video?
That was at Comic-Con 2008, I think, or 9. I'm not sure.
I remember that was like the huge thing.
It's
I didn't go to that convention, but
it was Comic-Con. We
all
dressed
over the
in
internet.
the outfits,
Yeah.
and we were just like, ta-da! Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I watched the video and then I watched the audience reaction video. Well, just like from someone filming in the audience, they went ape.
It was crazy. And they wouldn't give us a big enough room, so that we were in a room like with 500 people, and we asked to upgrade because we're like, we definitely will fill.
Yep.
They had like 1,000 people outside trying to get in, and
Yeah.
that the next year we got upgraded to the Indigo, which we've been in for the last 6 years.
It's so frustrating about Comic-Con. You have to cause like a traffic jam before they pay attention to you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to, basically, the way Comic-Con works is you have to upset a bunch of people before they do anything. Like that's the only way they moved our booth. Remember?
Well, I think it's digital is like we're the outsider people, and we gotta have to show people that we have I think it's
Right.
changing now a lot. I don't know. We were at VidCon, and like the phenomenon of these especially vloggers and like homegrown people like having millions of followers is now finally the Hollywood boat is like, whoa, that's interesting.
Slow turn.
Sometimes it feels like they're sprinting in this direction. Then sometimes there was a guy from a major network that I talked to. He goes, "Yeah, I'm just my first year at VidCon." He goes, "I'm here. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure all this stuff out." And I was like, "Figure all this stuff out?"
Yeah, you're
It was
way late.
2015.
The sixth of VidCon.
I mean,
It's like being in a building that's on fire and be like, I'm going to read about fire on Wikipedia. See what that's all about.
If nothing else, the biggest telling sign for me this year at San Diego Comic-Con, I hadn't been to San Diego Comic-Con in 5 years. This was the first time I'd been since 2010. And I'm out there in our booth, and I look up, and there's this old, faded-ass sign above our booth that says webcomics. And I look around, I'm like, there are no webcomics here.
No.
It's like us and Mega 64 and like other online content creators. Like, why the fuck is this sign here? Like, it's still like
Well, most
playing
people are
catch-up.
just moving. I mean, I had a booth there for 4 years, and eventually we just got stomped on by like the Warner Brothers booth or whatever, and we just let our lease go. And now
It's actually valuable real estate.
huge
Yeah.
real estate because
Yeah.
it's grandfathered in. You
Yep.
basically automatically get the booth, so it's hard to get booths. But all the indie people are just leaving because they can't sell anything because people are there for Hasbro and to get free bags and stuff. So this year we were, Legendary owns my company now, and so we were at the stadium and had a huge offsite event with Nerdist at the stadium.
That was awesome.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
glad
at
you came
Petco.
over.
Yeah.
At Petco Park. So that was a huge upgrade, but it kind of made me sad for the days where you could actually be an indie artist on the floor, and that's just not what that con is anymore. It's all big companies, and it's places like Dragon Con that can still support those RPG makers and the artists and stuff, which is still I love that con too. So
Penny Arcade didn't have a booth this year, which for the first time that I can remember. Yeah, Penny Arcade.
Yeah, I
didn't
think
have a booth.
last year after San Diego Comic-Con, they announced that was their last one.
Yeah.
And then I immediately emailed them. I was like, give me your booth.
yeah, that's really smart.
Sign it over.
Well, they have
We
their
didn't need
own
it.
cons that are so huge. So.
Yeah, which is it's kind of the best thing about it is they don't have to travel as much.
Yeah, and I still yet to be to your con. I was not able to do, but last week. So
Well, you should definitely come next year.
year I will definitely be.
Actually,
there.
we're doing. Do you go down to Australia much? I know sometimes you go down for Supernova and stuff.
I've been once. I need to. I get invited a lot. It's just hard to
Yeah.
take the time out. When are you guys having an event there?
We're doing RTX in Australia in January.
January
Oh, cool.
23rd and 24th, Sydney, the Australia Technology Park. Buy your tickets now, rtxau.com.
Yeah, let me think about it.
You should come down. Australia's fun. I mean, it's like the audiences down there are really tremendous. The nice thing about Supernova is they tend to like put the events back to back, so you can go to 2 events in one trip.
Yeah, that's what I
you
did
know?
when the one time I went. It's just really hard, and I've been on book tour. I will have been on book tour for 6 weeks.
That's a
Damn.
lot of travel.
Yeah, it's a lot of travel. So I kind of need to actually make more stuff for a while.
Man, I am like I've always been a reader my whole life, but I haven't had much time to read recently, and I just got caught up on The Martian. Have you read The Martian?
It's on my Kindle. I need to read it.
You'll, as a math major, you will
I
love
just
it.
I heard
finished
it's
it
amazing.
finally.
Yeah. Is it
Oh
good?
my god, it's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
The new Neil Stephenson book is amazing about the moon blowing up and like what happens after that.
Oh, yeah?
It's unbelievable. So that's the book I'm trying to finish
What
right
happens
now.
after the moon blows up?
You got to read the book. I'm not going to tell you the log line.
I love
the
Neil
book.
Stephenson, but I feel like I haven't heard about
They're
this one
very
yet.
large
But yeah,
books.
I feel like over time his books have just been like getting larger and larger. Like, is this like a two-parter? Like, you legally can't carry one.
Yeah,
like the book is one.
You can't
was
fit it in your
unit?
carry-on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Baroque cycle was one I just could not get through. But everything else he writes, the one-offs, I appreciate a guy who's like, this is not an 8-parter.
Yeah.
Let's just get it done.
Yeah, I always appreciate somebody who starts something. They have like whatever the fascination is with the trilogy in our culture.
Oh, yeah.
where everything has to be a trilogy. I was like,
Or a
anybody who
trilogy into a 4-movie deal.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody like they'll turn it into like the third one. They break it up into 2 books. That's a new thing now. That's the new version of the trilogy. I'm just always like somebody who does even like a 2-part thing is amazing to me. It's just like, wow, you did 2 parts and you were able to tell something and just 2 stories. You didn't have to break it out into 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm reading right now. I just finished The Martian and I just started reading Gary Whitta's book and then I'm going to read your book after that.
Do you know
if I get a
Gary?
copy.
Do you know him
Yeah.
personally? He's amazing.
I was a huge fan of Book of Eli when that movie came out, and I was like just like crowing about it on the podcast.
Well, he's a gamer.
Yeah.
Like he started out as a video game writer, which I think is really awesome.
He's one of those people I only know through social media. So he sent
social media friend?
Yeah, so
I
he
have
sent
a
me
lot
a
of
copy of his book, and I kind of like I was just so busy I almost said I hadn't gotten to it. I hadn't read it, and then the book came out, and I was like, I started reading it the day it came out, because I was like, I realized how far behind I was on it. So
It's hard when you know a lot of authors. I have like arcs in trying to get blurbs for my book. I'd say hey, and then they automatically send their book back. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh gosh, I need to read about 10 books, which all of them are great because all the authors are amazing. But it almost feels like you have to keep up with the media or it just piles up around you. Like, here's my Steam library and here's
Yeah.
the list of books my friends have made and here are the ones I don't know but I want to read. And
You can
here's-
read books while you look at loading screens and playing Steam games.
Exactly.
yeah, you know who's not like that is you do have to keep up with artists that do things. The one group of people, and I kind of appreciate this, that's not like that, are online video people, YouTube people, for lack of a better term. It's like you'll meet somebody at a party, and you're like, oh hey, so and so, Tom Ska. It's like I'm familiar. I saw the ASDF movies. I got to make all this other stuff too. It's like I've never seen that. He goes, I don't care. it's like literally. It's like when people tell me like, oh, I don't ever watch your stuff. I go, of course you don't. It's like there's so much stuff to watch out there. It doesn't offend me at all when someone doesn't watch something that we do.
By
Even
the
something
way,
we know personally.
Tom Scar's other stuff is really funny.
It is really funny. I just
It really
I just
is.
watched
I
some
love
of his shorts that he did about. He did a short about like a gambling thing that went wrong, and it was really really funny.
I met
didn't you meet him?
Rebecca
And
Black
ASDF is
yesterday.
not actually like he doesn't animate ASDF. He gets other
No, yeah,
animators in there.
he
for
writes
that.
and does voices.
Yeah. And I watched the thing with Tom Scott that's interesting is his vlog is really interesting because it's like it seems to be the pattern is that he makes a vlog and then makes an apology vlog immediately afterwards. Like I've never seen anyone make so many like conciliatory apology videos ever. Does he just have a really like emotional audience?
Yeah, he does have a very sensitive audience. He's also very outspoken about like just bullshit that he hates online.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is that what
It's
it is?
really hard though. If you're making videos, you can't just make one video.
No.
You have to make a million videos, and therefore all you're doing is consuming your own content by making it. And when do you have time to actually consume other people's content?
No, it's so much. It's so much.
Do you ever
can't-
watch your own old crap though? Like I can't watch early Slow-mo guy stuff. Just
Really?
weird.
Really? Why not? Because of your hair?
Just to throw something out there?
Well, it's funny. I just
why can't you
rewatched.
watch it? You can't smell yourself in a video. So what's the problem?
I just rewatched your champagne one yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we
that
were
was
just-
like 4 years ago, and I looked at it. I was like, Gavin looks like he's 12, and your hair was like stupid.
I was
It
a
looks
lot more,
great now.
a lot more clean shaven too.
Yeah.
Well, I have that. I've talked about it before. I have that weird thing where Red vs. Blue is now at 13 seasons. So I don't remember what I wrote in season 3 or season 4. I don't remember it. But my
That's the
brain
best
wrote it, so
moment.
my brain thinks it's funny as hell. So it's like this weird thing where I can watch it and I'll just sit there and laugh at my own stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like that's just a weird offshoot
That's
of having.
all you do at night. You're
Yeah.
just, you go home, let's watch some of me.
No, it's like it's great because we can go to an event and we show something. One thing I really don't like doing more than watching old stuff is I don't like watching my own stuff with an audience.
Why?
I don't know
that's
why.
awkward.
I don't know why.
That's like having public sex.
I actually,
It's
no,
a
what?
good way of putting it. Yeah, it is like having public sex.
I like watching stuff with other people. I like watching Red vs. Blue with other people, and Slow Mo Guys is the same way. Like when you get a reaction to something that happened,
Yeah.
it's a nice feeling.
Like
On a
when
big screen?
when the movie comes out, I will be like right dead in the middle of that audience, like watching the whole movie. You'll be there too, Gav.
Do I have to
So, but like when we do that for Red versus Blue, and we're watching like there's a screening somewhere, and they show like something from 2006, like something from season 1 or season 2, and I'll be in the audience, and I won't remember half of it, and then I'm watching it again for the first time, and it's
So you're
like
laughing.
I'm in the back of the theater like going, it's like,
I had that-
Who's the jackass in the back laughing at his own material?
I had that yesterday on the plane. I was like nothing to do on the plane, really bored. So I was listening to an old podcast. It was probably like maybe 100 or so podcasts ago. And it's to the point now where I don't remember anything from
No,
back then. And
there's
I'm
no
on
way you
it.
could.
And I'm thinking about what I would say in response to other people. And I just come out with completely different stuff.
That's
just
weird
like
you say
my
that.
humor
I
is
have the
different.
exact same train of thought that I do when I hear
Yeah.
myself.
I do it sometimes. And sometimes, like if I get cut off right before I was about to say something, I know what I was going to say. I'm like,
Yeah.
I should have said that.
No, with me, it's always exactly the same. Like I'll hear it like, oh, I should have said this, and then I'll say it like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do
Yeah.
too.
See, for me, it's depressing because I'll think of something funny to say in response to something that you said 2 years ago, and the old version of me says something way funnier. I'm like, man, I'm not as funny as that used to be.
Yeah, but it's weird. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. We're almost to 7 years in for doing the podcast.
That's a lot.
And it's weird to have like an audio history basically of a large portion of your life to go back and that people listen to and they'll bring stuff up like, oh yeah, I lived through that. Like I talked
Yeah.
about all this stuff, like buying that old shitty house and fixing it. Like, and there's just like a living record now of all of these things that we went through.
I was 21 when I was first on this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
And now he's 50.
Yeah. 50.
Yeah, the other thing too is we get held accountable for opinions we had 7 years ago. It's like our tastes change over time.
I mean, that's the thing about the internet. You can never outrun who you used to be.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, well, 5 years ago you said that, and you can't be like, well, 5 years ago me is an idiot.
Well, that's
Or-
why I'm amazed that you would like throw out your handle from the Ultimate Dragons news group because it's like people who go back. I'm sure people have gone back.
Oh, they've sifted through every
Yeah.
piece of dirty laundry to either probably use it against me in some way.
So
but-
how much time needs to pass before that's a valid excuse? Like, oh, that I was a long time ago. Like it's like
I mean, you're a
5
different
years
person
good.
every second.
It does-
You should be progressing as an individual every minute. So even a
So-
year later, you can have a different opinion about something.
Just a year. So like
Ideally.
a year is safe.
I don't know, 6 months.
I don't think there's any. I don't think you ever escape it. You're always you. Like you look at politicians, and it's always like,
True.
oh, look at this shit you voted on 25 years ago. You voted this way. It's like,
It doesn't
Also,
really
the world
matter.
was different. Not only were you different, like the surroundings were different too.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter when you did it. It matters when people find out about it because it's new to them when they find out about it. Remember when I went through that thing where I was cast in a movie and there was a Vine star that was in the movie as well, and then it came out to me and our audience. It came out that this guy, when he was 15, like 3 years ago, made a really horrible Vine. It was awful. It was a horrible homophobic Vine. It was really terrible. But our audience was like upset with me about it. I was like, I didn't know. I'm finding out about this just so you guys are finding
Yeah.
out about it. It's like this happened 3 years ago and the kid was 15, first of all.
Why can't you retcon that script you wrote?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or what? It's like I don't think when they gave me the list of people that could be, it's like, oh, there's this person. Oh, this made a
I'll have
homophobic
a
remark at
PI look
15.
into all of them and make sure there's nothing offensive.
Yeah, but I mean, I took it really seriously. But I also, I mean, that kid had done a full like 2-page apology on the front page of Huffington Post, addressing it.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Vine stars who have to apologize for some reason.
Yeah, it's amazing how much trouble you can get in 6 seconds.
Does that ever work though? Like, does anyone ever unite and go, we accept his apology? I've never seen that happen.
Oh, no,
no,
You might as well just call it a day and
Now,
go and
I've
get a job.
apologized for things and a couple of times I'd said something and I admit it. I'm like, oh, wow, that was not cool. And I had everyone be like, that apology wasn't good enough.
That's the
you
tough thing.
phrased it incorrectly. And then I'm like, I don't know what more I can do. I can only just not do that in the future.
Yeah, there is a certain portion of a very vocal minority that when they hear an apology, that's when they really smell blood, and it's like, oh no, not good enough.
Well, it's
Now
like
you need to do
engaging
this.
trolls.
Yeah,
like
you do
there's
this.
just no winning.
This emotional trolls.
Yeah, emotional troll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it also
anything today.
doesn't work to completely ignore it. Like that's what Sam Pepper did. Where the hell? Where is he? Didn't
Oh
work.
well, his was criminal allegations, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah, but he like never even mentioned it.
yeah. You can't do that. Can't do that either.
touching
But it's like
girls'
I'm just
butts.
grateful that I grew up in a time where every dumb thing I did between like 13 and 17 and probably beyond, that all that stuff wasn't recorded. And now people are going through the effort to self-document all that stuff and put it up. It's just like,
Well, there's that whole European thing. You have the right to forget kind of thing where they have to wipe you off the internet.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
I think
going
that's
through
a
that with
good
Google
thing.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Google, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a law that says if I want to delete my account, you can't like just make it invisible. You have to get rid of my
Yeah,
account.
you have to make it not searchable.
Right.
Like, people have the right to be like, I don't want anybody to search my name and find anything about me or my past or anything. And they have that right in Europe.
So that's not net neutrality, right?
No.
No, that's not the same thing.
No, I mean, but it's not like you're then altering the internet and like censoring the internet.
I wonder what it would be like though if we went the other way and it was like the thing about privacy is if there's a little bit of privacy, everyone has to have privacy. But what would it be like if there was like literally no privacy? Like what if I could look up your medical records, Gavin, and your bank accounts balances and everything? Like there was literally no privacy of any kind,
Well,
but
then-
nobody had it.
I mean, that's people would use that against you, like employees, insurance.
Right. But it would
That-
be like an honest thing of like, you
It'd
know,
be a different world.
like if you're going to date somebody, you could just look up all their medical records and everything like that, their criminal history. Like, I mean, it was openly visible to everybody. But it was like that for everybody. It was like that for the president of the United States or the CEO of Bank of America.
I mean, that means you can never become a different person. I mean,
That's
I think
true.
that's the inherent thing. Like, if you commit a crime and you've done your, you pay your, you do your time, and you want to become a better person, you can never I mean, isn't that like every Western?
Well, I think lots of times, I think currently felons, complain about that. It's like they do their time, they come out, and they're still on like employment applications. They still have to say, yes, I've committed a felony.
Yeah.
Isn't that good though?
What's that?
Isn't that good?
I mean, it depends if the person's changed. Like if they're trying to make a new life, if the system works the way it's intended,
Right.
If they've been rehabilitated, it should not matter.
It all depends on your philosophy of prison. Like, is prison punishment or is it rehabilitation? And if they do their time, their crime, I mean, that's why you go to court, tell you committed this crime, here's the amount of time you have to spend in prison. Then the theory is that after that amount of time, then your debt is paid, your debt to society at that point. But it's like a lot of people, it's like, no, that just sticks with them forever. I think a stigma with that, though, is going for like this hypothetical scenario where no one has any privacy. If someone has a felony for like grand larceny or something like that, and they go into a job where they don't get hired because they have a felony, if they could go through the company and say here's your executive staff has felonies, you know what I mean? It's like everybody has it. It's just some people are able to hide stuff
It would
better.
be nice if people were better people, but
Yeah.
no, they
Right.
wouldn't. I mean, if you had an abortion or even a sexually transmitted disease, or
Right.
people now have the right to deny people, birth control because of their religious reason. I mean, that would just even be bigger. I think we're going into territory we don't want on the internet.
Yeah, yeah. I heard this great thing today, which is I just like when people have creative solutions to problems, and this may vary with people's own political beliefs. That's fine. But there was a guy in Kentucky, a county clerk, who had a really interesting approach to marriage and all the controversy with marriage right now. He said, religiously, I'm an atheist, so from this point forward, I'm going to refuse to marry anybody who identifies as a Christian because it's against my religious beliefs to marry Christians.
Wow.
And it's like, that's an extreme example of like what some people deal with. I thought that's a really creative way to approach that. And it's like there'll be a huge fervor about that guy, right?
Right,
Is
absolutely.
fervor or furor?
Fervor.
Oh no.
Fervor's a good
I
one.
think it's
Effect or
both,
effect?
actually.
Yeah.
I think both are apt in that example. But it's interesting to see, where the lines of our freedom are drawn, quote unquote freedom.
Well, the good thing we can debate it because we have a constitution to allow us to debate it
Yeah.
rather than being
Yeah.
dictated to.
Yeah, it's interesting times to be in right now. Really interesting times. Did you hear that Colorado hit all their state budget tax numbers in May of this year?
Because of weed?
Just because of weed?
Because of tax on weed. Yeah. They hit all their goals from the previous year. They hit them in May of this year.
Nice.
Who's going to want to move there? They're going to have the best roads ever.
Oh, man. It's a short, I think
It's a
it's short
real
lived
smooth
for them
ride.
because I think they're going to pass it here in Texas
You
pretty
think
soon.
so?
No.
I think they
In
will.
Texas?
We're on the
Yep.
slow first step. They approved cannabis oil for certain medical procedures, but a doctor has to prescribe it. I think for like seizures.
But I think it makes enough money that they'll do it.
The money will definitely drive it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you guys
too.
don't have income tax, right?
No, we have property tax, which is the property tax in Texas is a nightmare. You can like buy a house, live in it 30 years, pay off your mortgage, and then when you still have to pay the state like sometimes they pay like $2,000 a month to live in their house.
What?
Yeah, some of the property tax is high. Well, Austin's in a bad shape in particular because our property values have gone up so much.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous.
And the traffic here is almost as bad as LA.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Yeah, Matt lived in LA for 10 years, and he tells me that the traffic in LA is better than in Austin.
It is
because it's predictable.
No, because the problem here is you guys don't. Your lights are awful. Like I will sit at a light for 30 seconds, a minute, and it will not change.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll change for 10 seconds, and then no one gets through. And I'm like, someone needs to hire someone to coordinate.
Someone needs a damn roundabout. Get roundabouts,
We
man.
have some roundabouts in Austin. Some.
They're building one right by here.
It's like lights, but everyone goes all the time. Go, 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 roundabout.
Yeah, have you seen the drivers around here? They're not gonna be able to figure that shit out.
No, they won't.
That'll be fine.
They're on their phone texting. Too
Right,
hard.
they're texting. There's gonna be cars on fire in every roundabout if we did that. Like still driving, just on fire.
Mad Max.
It'd be like a road hazard.
Well, you know my car's in the shop, right?
No, I didn't know that.
What happened? What do you have?
What's that?
What kind of car do you
I
have?
drive a Tesla, and it's super heavy. It doesn't. You don't know this about this car, but because the batteries are super, super heavy. So Ashley was at a light. I've also got to put a ding in the bumper. She wants to be very clear that she was not the first person to damage the car. And there's a feature on the Tesla because it's an electric car. When you take your foot off the gas, nothing happens. It just sits there, and it freaked people out that it didn't like move forward at all. So they actually added a feature that they pushed out over the network. They can update the cars in the driveway.
Wow.
Where you can turn on creep. So when you take your foot off the brake, then the car will creep forward at like a mile an hour. Well, this is a long story about how we lost our cat for 2 weeks, and we were getting like all these text alert updates about the cat's collar. And she got one of those text alerts.
She has a Tesla collar?
What?
Your cat has a Tesla collar?
He has a GPS collar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Tag, Tagg. Yeah.
That's really cute.
But
That's amazing.
The cat was gone for 2 weeks, but the collar's charge only lasted like 3 days. Anyway, she got an alert at the light.
They need to black box that shit.
What's that?
They
Black
need to
box?
do that. Yeah, black box it.
Find the collar.
Yeah.
But she just crept forward and she tapped the car in front of her. But because the car's so heavy, that's a lot of momentum, and it like
So it's,
broke
like, crushed
the front
itself.
bumper. Anyway, so it did that. So I've been using Uber while the car's been finding this part is apparently like it's like digging for gold. Apparently, you know they're trying to make so many of those cars so fast that trying to get one part, they're like, well, we can either give you a part
Or make a car.
or we can make a car. Right?
Do you need that part?
I know. It's
Just-
totally cosmetic.
just
and
keep the car.
And I want to get it back, but
Just
they're-
drive.
Also, a Tesla with a big crunch in the front's funny.
It stands out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Here, let me read this
But
other
I mean,
thing.
the point I was trying to make is I've been getting addicted to Uber. Like just having
I
someone
like the
else
Uber.
drive me around. It's like it's so addictive.
Guys, those rich people know what they're doing when they have drivers.
I always thought like, oh no, I want to drive. I want to be in charge of it and all that stuff. I'm just sitting in the back like.
No, that's what I've been
emailing.
doing. Dude, I've been doing the whole book tour because I have to get so many places. It's just a car. Well, we have a car to take me places because taxis are more expensive actually. So it's really nice to be like, oh, someone's meeting you.
Yeah, and I don't
have
give a
to-
shit about
Yeah,
traffic or anything.
I
I'm
can
just
get
like,
to work for like $6. It's great, and I'm just texting all the time.
Well, a couple of years ago, I went to London for an event that we did, and the event was on the far east side of London, and Heathrow's on the far west. So when I landed in Heathrow, I got in a cab. It's like, it's like an hour and a half to get to where I'm going. Got there, it was like 150 pounds or something ridiculous.
Crazy
Paid
expensive.
And I was like, I'm not doing that again.
Why
So then,
wouldn't you take the underground? Because it's so much fun to go underground.
yeah, it's like living in the future. The subway stations there are just awesome.
There's a train like every minute. Just get on.
It's the way
it was,
everything
it was,
should be.
It was far. But on the way back, I decided I'm not going to get in a taxi again. I'm just going to call a car service. So I called a car service. Like this brand new huge Mercedes shows up. The guy like opens the door for me. He's like, oh, the Wall Street Journal and a bottle of water in the back seat for you. And he took me back to the airport. It was like half the cost of a cab.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, how is it that this much nicer experience is like half the cost?
And that's why
yesterday-
taxis are sad.
Yesterday, Dan and I had a car service. It was going to pick us up and take us to the Late Late Show with James Corden.
Oh, how
And,
did that go, by the way?
It was great.
You had
and
fun?
we walked up to the car, and the driver just went,
What?
We were like, what? He's like, no, I'm picking someone up. Gavin Free. I'm like, I'm Gavin Free. And he's like, oh, sorry. You just look really casual. Like, we just look like scummy dudes. Like, he just didn't want to pick us
That's
up.
really funny.
Yeah, he was like, you don't belong in my car.
Yeah. Well, they did an event for Google in Manhattan where it was a meet and greet with a bunch of people from the audience, and they would spray paint and confetti and silly string all over Gavin and Dan while they filmed it in slow-mo, and then whoever came to the event got to leave with the clip. It was a really cool event that Google put on. But then I had these two idiots covered in paint, and I'm trying to get them across town in Manhattan, and it was like I tried to hail one cab, and the guy was like, fuck off. You're not getting in my car. So we had to walk like 40 blocks.
Yeah, dressed in lab coats, covered in paint. Nobody batting an eyelid. It's New York. Nobody gives a shit.
All right, here, let me read this other thing. I want to remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by, so big thanks to Pizza Hut for sponsoring the podcast and for RTX and for Did you see the trophy they gave away?
No.
The person who won the Retro Bites arcade tournament, the trophy they gave them was bigger than the trophy we made, like that joke trophy.
Oh yeah.
It was huge. It was bigger than the contestant who won.
So that was like a 20-foot trophy.
One.
Then.
Wow.
It was like, I think it was like 8.5 feet tall.
Where was the person from?
I don't know.
That's not going home
Goliath
with them.
won.
I think they shipped it to him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
Because that's kind of like when you win a prize at like The Price is Right, and then you have to pay tax in that you're actually in the hole by winning something.
Yeah.
That's what you guys did to someone.
no, it's just a trophy.
It just
Someone
like
has to pay tax on their big ass trophy.
it looked like someone just ordered a crate of bowling trophies and glued them all on top of each other.
It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
huge.
So yeah, but at least they shipped it to them. That's nice that they're paying for that.
Yeah.
They got all that stuffed crust money though. They can do that. They can afford that stuff. We don't
With
ship
hot
people
dogs
the trophies.
inside.
But yeah, there was they did a pizza for us this last year too. Like there was a Rooster Teeth podcast pizza. Was there any of that stuff at RTX?
The podcast pizza is currently not available. You can still order it like per
Secret menu?
Yeah, like if you know what was on it.
Yeah.
At
If you know what was on it.
at
If you can
RTX
replicate our pizza technology.
at RTX, they were sampling the cheesy bites.
Those were good.
Yeah, it
I
was-
had to- they were so good I had to like avoid them after a while. Just anywhere that had them, I just avoided the place.
You could smell it. You're like, oh yeah, cheesy bites. They're close, and you start looking for them. It was awesome.
So it's too bad Audible's not a sponsor this week, even though they sponsored the podcast on a
Why's
regular
that?
basis. Because Felicia's book is on Audible. I was on the went to
It's
the
featured.
Audible website. It was on the front of it.
Who
Front
narrated?
page.
Who's the narrator? Did you see?
What?
I'm the
Narrator?
narrator.
Did you narrate
and then
it?
Joss Whedon does the foreword.
Oh, nice.
Forward, which is a word I didn't know that was a different word than forward.
Right. It's
forward?
WORD instead of ARD.
Forward.
Right?
Yeah. Anyway, so
Before
he read-
words, here's my words.
And a lot of people are getting because I actually, when I was writing the book, I would read it aloud to be like, when I read the audiobook, I won't be like, God, what asshole wrote this book?
Yeah.
So it would actually, because I've read a lot of audiobooks and done a lot of voiceover and things like that. And sometimes somebody will write something that probably looks good on the page and is unpronounceable.
Right.
So that's what I did. So, I had a lot of fun with it. I do like some singing and
So
stuff.
I've always been curious, how long does it take to actually record? Like the session?
Yeah, did you flub it? at any
It took,
point?
you flub it all the time.
Oh,
You just
okay.
back up. Good thing they're here to make you look good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took about 3.5 days to read the whole book, which is it's 250 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So it was it
If
was good.
If
I
you
always
flub,
seemed to
you have
enjoy
to
it.
restart the chapter.
I would just restart it. I'd be like, I sound like an asshole. Let me redo that.
I always wonder that when you listen to Game of Thrones or something, when like the line will come before who said it, but they read it in the voice of that character. So they must have had to read the whole thing
But-
right before and then record it. So
Can
they
you
know
imagine
who's-
though doing that for your own memoirs? Because then you get to do all your friends' voices. You'd be like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my god, I don't talk like that.
And then
You
in-
get people really mad at you.
In 2005, I met Gavin Free.
Yeah.
I went over to England. He was like,
Hello, hello.
that would be a lot of fun.
Do you do any British accents in your book?
No, I don't. I
There's
don't
no
know any
British people?
I know. That's
She
why
like just knocked out the French woman accent.
I
though.
did. That's in
I
one.
wanna
one
be
I
in the
do.
second book.
You're gonna be so we're gonna have to have an encounter.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Why,
that
does
kind
this
of
not
encounter,
count?
but just some kind of adventure.
Maybe you guys could be in a parade together.
Okay, good. And you can dress as the beast, manhandle me.
Yeah.
I
Or
love
something
it.
terrible will happen right now, like right when we end the podcast.
Yeah.
And this-
Well,
this will
chances
be-
are. I mean,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a
so-
massive explosion in China.
so books out
See that?
now.
Book's out now.
Yeah.
It is doing. People seem to enjoy it,
Yep.
which is very exciting. And after a year of writing about myself, it's good to get that book out there, and people are taking funny pictures with their dogs and stuff with it. And yeah,
I think everyone that I follow has read it. 'Cause I
Really?
keep seeing tweets from like Brian Singer or someone who's
well,
like, "This
yeah.
book's
I
great."
mean, some fancy people, some awesome, just friends, and no, it's pretty cool to get. That people don't know things about me that I was homeschooled, and I mean, there's all these homeschooled people across the country I'm meeting who are like, I was homeschooled. I'm like, I want to talk to you. Do you feel as weird as I do in life? And Ultima, like things like that. People
Yeah.
will come up and say, I'm actually a fan of Ultima, and I mean, I wrote the book because in talking about myself in presentations, you go around and do PowerPoint and all this stuff. People seem to like be inspired by what I say and like pick up a camera and shoot in your garage. Like I want more people to do that.
Yeah.
And just be as weird as they can because your weirdness is kind of your superpowers. And I think so. The more weird I can encourage in this world is good.
That's
Weird
what
is
Felicia
good.
at VidCon. We had presentations like right near. She didn't call it a presentation. There were these. It's like the way they do
Keynote
keynotes
speaker.
at VidCon is they do like 8-minute keynotes. They were 15 minutes last year, but I guess they're recognizing the attention span of the audience is like decreasing on a regular basis, and now we're down to like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah. No, I had 4 minutes.
You had 4 minutes
Or 4 or 5. I mean,
Yeah.
but it was
You
very
go
short.
fast. And listen, I can't. I've learned I can't do that. I got to have at least like 15, 20 minutes. It's just like I can't.
Your
keep that-
presentation was excellent in that truncated time.
She was though when we showed up for rehearsal. She was like, when are you going on? I said, I don't know. I think I'm going on either right before or right after. She goes, do you have a PowerPoint? I go, yeah. She goes, no. She's, damn it. She goes, okay, how many pages are in yours? And I was like, I think I had like 4. And I said, there's like 20. She's like, no, how many? 20?
I got so insecure.
Every time I saw her for the rest of the day, I was like, I just added another 2 pages to my
And I was like, damn it. Because I did mine just on a lark because I was so nervous about it as long as I get the PowerPoint distract people from my face and me like having a panic attack, the better. So I just kind of like clip arted my way through it. And you had actual pie charts and real logos. It was so professional
You had
looking.
a pie chart? What was in your pie?
I just use it all. It's the same things over and over again. Just the Rooster Teeth logo. Just repurpose whatever we used on the last one.
Use the blink tag.
I'll tell you who's got the great technique down is Freddie. It's like, Freddie.
Oh, Freddie, yeah.
We're like, what are you going to do at the rehearsal? What are you going to do? Freddie goes, I don't know. It's like, so then he gets up at the rehearsal and he like messes around a little bit and then he gets off and he goes, well, I'm not going to do that. And then like, so it's like 3 hours later, it's like, then he's about to go on. It's like, what are you going to do, Freddie? And he goes, I'll come up with something.
Do you think he's actually secretly really neurotic and like methodically plans everything, or is he actually that laid back?
I don't know. Freddie is a very natural performer. Like he's got that history with all the. Freddie was like a professional rock band player, like a Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that comes with a certain level of performance.
I think he's an extroverted person, it seems like.
Gavin, let me ask you this: if I said you got to go up in front of people and you got to talk for 7 minutes, do you really think that you couldn't come up with 7 minutes off the top of your head?
I could. I would just be shitting myself from now until I finished.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like I do poo.
You would actually poo
I poo.
in your pants. Poop.
Not necessarily my. I've got some control.
Where would you do it if not in your pants?
I mean, yeah, where are you putting it out your mouth? Because that's a weird, it's a weird superpower.
I'd
That'd
put
be
it
a
in a
very
condom and I'd
memorable
feed it to the
speech.
cat.
Yeah. I'm
Very
on stage
memorable.
pooping, but not in my pants.
I pooped in somebody in the audience's pants. Check.
I made
It's a
you
magic
poop.
trick. It's like the
Everyone
world's
check your
worst
pants right
David
now.
I would
Blaine.
love that if somebody cut me off in traffic. I'd be like, poo. Shit themselves.
It's even better than Squirrel Girl.
It would be better than Squirrel Girl.
So if you had the ability
Poo
to
girl.
make people shit at a point, how often would you use that?
I would do it every time I saw Donald Trump live.
Since having known me, would you have made me poop at any point?
You? Well, I'm sitting next to you.
What would you
You'd
name
have to
yourself?
experience it, right? You're
I,
kind of close.
I mean, Poo Girl. You got to be.
Poo Girl.
There's no subtlety
poo
in
pointer.
superhero names. It's just like Poo Girl.
The defecatress.
Oh,
good
that's
one.
pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
That's the evil.
That's the evil one.
Wait, there's no good version of this.
Well, if somebody can't poo, if they're
No.
constipated, it would be
Oh.
like kind of like an Imodium AD ad.
There you go.
Poo Girl.
All right, yeah. You'd be like at the doctor's office, like you just sit in a room, and like when they have a really constipated patient, like Poo Girl.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Poo Girl to
You could have like
room
a TV
2.
show where you just
Surely-
point the camera. It's a people could tune in if they're feeling bad.
surely the good version
Constipated.
would be if someone just shit themselves. You could put it back up in their ass. Like
Oh,
putting
no,
their bum.
that's like a reverse enema.
Yeah, but at least
Ugh.
it's not like
That's a
it's-
poo
it's-
enema.
It's taking up space that it previously took. Like it's not forcing extra material.
No, you
into
can't do it all at once though. It builds up over time. Yeah. No, that would be
It compacts
uncomfortable.
itself. Actually, I've never really thought how is a poo formed inside of you.
I imagine it
How do you make
like a
poopy?
machine, like crushing food into like little poo chunks.
It's a little machine in there, kind of
Yeah,
like
that'd be cool.
Sesame Street.
Yeah,
animation.
you know this thing we're doing next summer, or that we're gonna go to. You have to do like 30, 40 minutes on stage for that.
What are you talking about?
The thing
You're
that-
just learning about it
And
now.
also, if I don't know about it, could you tell me like the week before so I don't worry about it for a year? What are you
this,
talking about?
this is the thing where I got a letter from. I was just opening my mail one day. I got a letter from Buzz Aldrin. I was like, "Well, this is cool." And he does
What?
this. Apparently, he does this symposium every conference in the summer for kids that are interested in technology that are going on to between high school and college. And then they had speakers like they had. Oh God, who's the guy who invented the Segway? Dean Kamen.
Yes.
Yeah, him and like a bunch of other people like that. So I was supposed to do this last summer, didn't do it, and then I was gonna do. So I pushed it to like next summer, next event, and then they want Gavin to come as well. So you have to come and be very
Are you
scientific.
kidding?
I can
That's
talk about digital media.
amazing.
You got to talk about like
wear your lab
slow
coat.
motion and time and everything else.
Talk
Yeah, I
about
can
rolling
talk-
shutter.
I can talk about that. Just gotta write it down.
40 minutes, man.
Now you have 8 months to think about
Yeah.
it. Yay, panic!
It's just
check
like
my heart rate, see
5
if it
minutes a
actually went
month.
up.
You'll be fine.
You just
5
put-
minutes a month for 8 months.
Yeah.
When is it again? When is it?
Like in the summer sometime.
In the it's like a year from
and
now.
you obligated himself. You obligated him without any. Yeah, he's gonna come.
I know I cleared it with him. He just
No,
doesn't
you
remember
did.
that.
I
I
did.
cleared it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I forgot.
Here was the other thing too.
I do that with my if I'm worried about something, I just lock it out, and then when the time comes near, I let it in again.
Can you teach me that technique?
Yeah,
Because I can't.
just,
I just-
He's like a
here's-
goldfish.
here's
Yeah.
how
If
it's
he doesn't
done.
think about it, it's just like gone.
Like just be like,
All right. Well, it's about time to wrap.
My problem always is when I'm doing stuff like that is probably what you did. It's like, oh, that's in July of 2016, sure, I'll do that. And I'd say yes. And then I think I'll have nothing on my calendar.
No. This is a friend of mine a couple years ago taught me the best trick.
I got to hear this trick.
Never say yes to anything in the future that you wouldn't do that week.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good rule of thumb.
Interesting.
So
Never.
basically, never say yes.
Yeah,
Basically, never say yes. Yeah.
That doesn't work for some stuff. For example, like I want to go to Japan at some point again. I wouldn't go this week, but I want to go to Japan.
If you didn't have anything else to do, though, you would go to Japan.
This week?
Yeah.
No, I got to mentally prepare for
Well,
at least 10 days.
It would have to be something that you would you're willing to you're it's important enough for you to carve out the time to do it as a number one priority. I think that's kind of the rationale.
Yeah.
So like if you would drop everything and do something, say yes. If it's just like, God, this person won't leave me alone, or I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
Just no. No is a good. I will not.
Are you good at saying no?
No, you me? No.
Not
She's
even over
here on this
email?
podcast, isn't she?
I'm here.
Clearly.
All right, well, it's about time to wrap up. We got to go.
All right, everybody, go buy Felicia's book, You're Never Weird on the Internet, almost. It's on Amazon right now. Where should people go to buy it? Is there a particular place?
I mean, any place is great. You can buy it at all indie game. I'm doing an indie bookstore tour currently,
Yeah.
but you can buy it on Audible, UK, Australia. It's any English speaking country should have my book. So
Awesome.
All right.
I hope you enjoy it. Let me know.
All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Pageant
Love.
wave.
Oh yeah, wrist, arm.